Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 2 of Jace Beleren Must Die. We did it. We made it to a second episode. We got past the pilot. We can continue to make content.
We weren't canceled.
Yes. Sorry to say, everybody. The studio canceled us. We got 4 more episodes. Also, we need to change the cast halfway through.
This is the real show, though.
Yeah.
This is what the creators.
Also, Angels did it.
Right, yeah. On episode
being
3 of
replaced by
Jace
a
Beleren
puppet.
Must Die will be airing on the CW. So stick around, bunch of hot teens getting
I'm
cast.
being replaced by
Dustin
someone
plays
much
all of
hotter
us.
than me. Yeah.
More time travel.
Yeah, exactly, right. In the next episode, we'll all be played by 22-year-olds pretending to be 35-year-olds. It'll be great. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Good stuff. Thanks for coming, everybody. So normally I would use this as an opportunity for us to kind of warm up a little and like talk about what we've been up to, but we have some paperwork to do before we get started because I have a gift for you, and it's you gained a level. So
Wow.
Merry Christmas, I guess.
Thank you.
So this is the thing, and I've been thinking about this, and you know what? Like we can talk about this as a group because I don't think this is exclusively necessarily my choice to make, but experience points and like leveling up and how it works in Dungeons and Dragons. We have some options, right? Like the base option in Dungeons and Dragons is that I tally up the stuff you overcome and I give you experience according to how challenging it is supposed to be in the game. So like last session, we would look at like the dogs and the guards that you fought. And then I could maybe give you like an overall, like you escaped the dungeon, like boost of XP. So that's one option. We can do it by the book and just kind of like look at the challenge. That tends to be like you get rewarded most readily for combat stuff and then other things occasionally. And there's this kind of weird loose, like I can sort of give you XP if you talk your way out of something, but you're not really supposed to because your character is made out of knives. There's also a couple of other models where like we could do Milestone XP where you just gain a level whenever certain kind of arbitrary things happen, which is sort of what this is. And I personally feel weird about that because then it just means I get to decide whenever you level up. I get to just be like, well, there's nothing to work towards. You can't try to like get levels. You just get them when I say you do, which is like, I don't know. I feel weird about that one. Or there's like we can determine certain points through the game where you level up. Like we can just say like after a certain number of episodes we're this level. So I don't know. Like, do people have a preference? Do we have thoughts, feelings?
So I think being level 1 is just hard sometimes, depending on like what
Yes.
comes at your way and what the set is. But I also like don't want it to like plateau off on difficulty just because like we're like constantly leveling, or like I'd almost want it to be, in my mind, like you level up means you get to fight tougher monsters. Like, so that's
Yes.
just, it phases in like higher difficulty in that space.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think like I wanted to level you up to 2 because like you say, level 1 is very hard to make a show out of because you're like, I have this cool art and I like invested in my character and the audience is all excited about my character and then I'm dead randomly from getting.
So what you're saying is this is Winnegar's fault.
You know
That
what?
we're
Just-
leveling up.
Hey, I've gotten hit with 2 spears before.
It's
All right,
nobody's
it's a very
fault.
common occurrence.
It's nobody's
I'm
fault.
gonna
You're
go ahead
all
and put that in the notes. Winnegar's back.
you're all
Winnegar's
just
fault, we're leveling up.
You're all
This is
just
Winnegar's
wet.
fault, we're leveling up.
you're wet tissue paper right now, and I just don't like the characters aren't really like you're not really real mechanically until level 3 anyhow. So you know, I'm okay moving us to level 2 now just because we've got a handle on like the characters exist and like it's worth kind of moving forward. But like yeah, for like the rest of the game, we could also do like kind of achievement based XP where we could set out like goals for the group. Like you could have your mission. And then you could take on like other like quest XP essentially, like only that. So it would be in like it'd be granular. So you'd still get like bumps in experience that wouldn't just be like straight up you're level 3 now, but it would be like slower going, and you would get obviously like it would take longer to do quests at higher level because there's more stuff in the way and it's more complex and you get more experience as we go. Which is kind of like it's kind of like a step
the way
between.
I do Milestone,
Yeah.
Milestone is
character arcs when people finish like character arcs that are important to the plot.
Yeah, right. Like I think making that something that I'm not just like generating and giving to you. Like this isn't Skyrim, right? Like if you have a thing that you as a group want to do or you as players want to do, you could say like, okay, well, Tak and Torgor have this like thing we want to get accomplished while we're doing other things. Can we make that a a quest. It's like so for Court of Swords, I do like goal XP where everybody writes 3 things they want their character to do and stuff, and like it works, but I'm still tinkering with it. And I don't know that it would work necessarily for this because the characters are so focused on this like one overarching goal. So I think doing like some kind of quest type thing would be good. Okay, let me think on it. I'll make that my dungeon master homework. Think on kind of codifying that a little bit, and then we can figure out what we want to do.
I've only done Milestone.
Yeah, same.
Really?
in my show, the Dungeon Rat show.
Man.
And I will say that we had played for 2 years and only got to like level 5 or something.
Yeah,
And we started at like 3.
as a player,
Yeah.
like as a DM, Milestone XP is easy because I can just be like, you did it. Here's a level. But as a player, I hate not having stuff to go after, right? Like I like being like, is this serving my goal? If so, I'm gonna do it. And if not, then like, why? Why do this? I like having something to push for. But that's totally just my like player preference. So yeah, okay. Some kind of like quest, like a milestone thing that y'all can like have some actual input on that isn't just Adam gives you XP whenever he wants, because that's bogus.
I also
Remind me like panically learning how to use key points right now.
Yeah.
Oh, they kick in at level 2.
Yeah, that's right. You spend them, and then you get to do more punching, basically.
And then it's like spend to punch.
Oh, I could be
Got it.
leveling up right now.
Yeah, so I mean, we can. It's actually really super easy, especially at
gonna
level
ask.
2.
Yeah.
So all you have to do to level up is on your character sheet, click under, like in the top right corner where it says like core bio spells, and there's a little gear. If you click on that gear, and then scroll down to where you see the mace and the hammer, the little character mancer options. If you click launch level plus character mancer,
Oh my god.
then it just does it. It just,
Oh, this is so cool.
That's
Roll
so easy.
20, you fancy?
of course, because I'm the DM, I don't get to see any of this cool stuff. So people at home are like, "What are they looking at?" But just,
Oh,
you know what?
Whoa,
Do it
I
yourself. Do it yourself.
3,000 hit points now.
Do we roll for hit points
Listen.
or do we
Okay,
pick
that seems
average?
reasonable.
Listen. Well, it looks like Katie's rolling for hit
I'm
points.
just gonna take the average because
Yes, you can roll or you can take the average. It is entirely
it's in
up to
double
you.
digits, so I'm thankful.
Yeah. Okay. It's
Okay.
okay. You get another 3 hit points.
Let's
I'm gonna
try
roll.
roll. Yes.
Sick. Big 9.
Good.
I'm
Feels
not
good.
gonna
If I'm gonna be on the front line, it's what I need.
+1/+1. Oh, I get
Okay.
cunning action. Delightful. Oh, I don't have a subclass. Never mind. Did I click that?
Yeah, you'll get subclasses at next
Neat.
level.
Okay.
Starting at
So-
second level, quick thinking and agility allow you to move and act quickly. You can take a bonus action on each of your turns in combat.
Yeah, so we'll have to remember that. That's the rogue thing where
Okay.
your bonus action becomes way more useful.
Yeah, well, because I'm a goblin, I have
That's
nimble
right.
escape, but now I can dash.
Yeah, you can do
With cunning
all kinds of
action,
stuff. Yeah. Nice. Okay, coal.
Sound effects for you.
Yeah. So, Winnegar, you'll basically just get some more spells.
Apply.
Yeah,
Nice.
mine froze. I gotta reopen
Okay.
it.
That's fine.
Roll20's like, this character is dead.
This guy's dead.
Weird.
It's
I
already
opened
died
my
from
character
last
sheet and it just says
Weird.
dead all over it, all everywhere.
Sorry.
Yeah. Weird.
Okay, let's try it again.
Yep.
So my like core numbers don't change, correct? Just my
Yeah,
health?
your stats won't change until 4th level. But then as a fighter, they'll change more often. And we're gonna use, and we'll talk about this again at 4th level. But we're gonna use, we'll use feats in this
Oh,
campaign
yeah.
because I like them and I think they add something fun for players. So at level 4, you'll get to improve your stats or do a feat. And we'll-
on board.
yeah, we'll do that when we get
For
there.
quick question, my sneak attack is still 1d6?
Yeah, I think it goes up at nice, Carlos.
Level
nice.
3?
Oh, Carlos, no.
Yo, can we get the
Buddy.
3rd level out of this? Because
For anyone who's wondering what I rolled,
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
not very good.
For those listeners who are all tabbed
It
or
was
listening to this in a podcast
little
form,
one.
Carlos rolled a big one. Big old one
Big
on his,
ol' one.
the
The
hit
big
points.
one.
Big old one. Uno.
That's what I get
the literal
for trying.
That shows you.
What I got.
This is the thing, right? Where we think that randomly rolling things is gonna pay off because we want to be like Masood, but sometimes we end up like Carlos.
Yeah, I took the average and I got 6 hit points out of it, and I feel great about that
Yeah,
choice.
what's great is you can just really dig in at the next level and keep rolling because it can't be bad forever. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll be like my grandmother at the slots.
You know,
Oh my
the
God.
behavior's exactly the same. Like, well, last level I rolled a 9, so gotta keep that lucky streak up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
go on Masood's computer when he's done.
Perfect. Come on over.
That's right.
I
I've
did
got it geared.
no tea, no shade. I did watch an old lady lose like $800 at a pay slots before.
Yo.
Oh, that was me.
Great.
That was me.
I have been accused of because of my relationship with Roll20 cheating. I have had people like in chat legitimately be like, Adam's rolls are too good. I think that he just cheats and makes Roll20 give him better numbers.
Yeah, it's just a big
that's what
hacker,
they're spending
Adam.
time- That's
Listen.
what the dev team is spending time on doing.
Exactly. I don't play Dungeons and Dragons for fun or to tell stories. I'm here to win, okay? And
Yeah.
if I
What
don't
are
win
the
at
odds
D&D,
that our sorcerer, the physically most vulnerable member, would almost die last episode, and then also have the least amount of hit points?
listen, we've
This
all
is clearly your fault.
we've all had that dungeon master before that just rolls everything behind the screen and is like, no, let me make your rolls for you. Let me roll your hit points and your stats, and you know what? Go home. I'm just gonna play D&D by myself. Just kidding.
I didn't have that dungeon master, but I did have that player that used like the HP counter as a D20. So like it's like a 20 and then an 18 and a 19.
Right,
on either
they
side
spin
of it.
around instead. Yeah.
Unbalanced, and I was like, wow, you're rolling a lot of 17s there, buddy. Now look at this dice real quick.
Yeah, this D20 has more 20s than it's supposed to. Cool. Okay,
Only
so
20s.
leveling up is straightforward. It's done there. So just take a look at whatever new stuff you get. It shouldn't be too complex at level 2. Level 3 is where it becomes a little bit more complex. But I'll figure out kind of how we want to do XP and present a model to all y'all next session. So last time on Jace Beleren Must Die, you succeeded at your mission. You got away from the off the books Boros Legion political prison / like warehouse. And now have in your possession a list of suspected influences that Codename Peacock has in Ravnica. So there's the names of people, the names of businesses, places that have been connected in one way or another to the big blue bad guy. And you're going to need to get this safely back to your handler, a woman named Rose, or the Rose. That's her secret code name. Now remember, when you're talking to the Rose, don't use your real name. You're in a conspiracy. You got to use your secret name so that
Right.
nobody
Our
knows.
code names.
Yeah. Now maybe y'all are casual enough with each other that it's like it's fine to just be like, I know your name. It's cool. But there is protocol within the compact that you use these secret names so that nobody can accidentally endanger anybody else in their real life. So you're gonna need to get back to her. But I have some questions for you about kind of what we do afterwards, because no cell of a conspiracy is worth their salt without a cool secret hideout. So we need to talk about your cool secret hideout. So I'm
Better be in
gonna
a tree.
I'm gonna make a new handout for you that we can all kind of look at the secret hideout, and we'll come up with a cool name for it later, and we'll add some notes. So like we did with the last session, I have some questions for you about it, and then we can kind of work on detailing it together. So as a group, you're gonna pick 2 benefits. I'm gonna give you a list. So we'll pick 2 benefits, and you'll pick 1 flaw, and then if you want to go ham, you can get another benefit, but you have to take another flaw. So these are all, like, for the most part, like narrative, but they'll affect how your characters interact with your hideout. So the benefits that you can choose from are: it's well hidden, it's easy to get to for you, it has a separate entrance or exit, so like a secret way in or out. It has some kind of legitimate cover, so like a bar or a business or whatever. It's magically obscured. It's self-sustaining, so it has access. You have access to food or water, or both. Or it's mobile, so you get to pick 2 of those. And then And then for flaws, it's in dangerous territory, so like getting there could be hard, right? It's in a bad neighborhood or like a scary place. Somebody else besides you knows about its location. It's uncomfortable, which means you can't take a long rest there. It's only temporary, so something is like causing it. So if you go with like it's mobile, maybe it's like an airship that's running out of gas very slowly. So yeah, it's temporary. It's only temporary. It requires constant upkeep, or someone else uses it for something besides you. So it's essentially like a timeshare. So I'll put
Oh no.
I'll put
These are awesome.
right. I'll put the list here in the secret hideout handout, which you can
Secret hideout. Cool.
find. I'll just put it in the PCs. So yeah, and then you guys can talk about it and decide y'all what you want to do. So 2 benefits and a flaw, and then you can choose if you want an additional benefit
Or an additional flaw.
and an additional flaw. Yeah, if you take that extra benefit.
Guys, I think we should pick all benefits.
No flaws.
No
I
flaws.
think.
That's not how that works.
I have a question. Pick me. Pick me. I have a question. I have a question. I have
okay.
a question.
What's going on?
Is murder a benefit?
Well, it depends who you murder, how you murder them. Do they know they're going to be murdered? Are there other people that agree? I think if other people agree,
I
that
take
they
this
should be
as an
murdered, it's
enthusiastic.
okay.
All right, this is Jace Beleren must die, not Socrates must die. We're not here to talk about like, is there a time at which murder is a benefit to society?
I'm glad that TAC is asking these social construct questions again.
Well,
What does it mean to live?
It's just like episode 5, we find out that they have a philosophy degree.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Immanuel Kant must die. Yeah. So I mean, is murder a benefit?
it's a BA in literature.
Okay, so sorry, what's the ratio? It's 2 benefits to 1 flaw?
It's 2 benefits,
Okay,
one
it says
flaw.
written right there.
Yeah.
Great.
2 and 1,
I should have
and
used my
then-
eyes.
And then if you choose to, you can take a 3rd benefit, but then it'll be 3 and 2 because you got to pick another flaw.
I'm a goblin. It's all dangerous territory to me. so-
Torgor says if it's a legitimate cover, then he can play music there as well. You
Right?
know,
It could
he
be like
can
a coffee
hold up-
shop or whatever.
Right, have his own open
Oh.
mic on Thursday nights, you know.
Nice.
Let it. No.
Guys, I really love the idea of it being mobile. I like that. Like a Walter White, I can get a fedora. You know, I'm the one who knocks.
It's just a traveling like maid service.
I'm okay
Right.
with that.
Yeah.
Hey, that's who our janitor cover is more secure now.
Traveling
Yeah,
maid
we could be called-
service, traveling maid cafe, whatever.
Made to order.
Maid cafe, a murder maid cafe. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited now.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Ravnica has that kind of establishment.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm like obsessed
Like-
with the idea of a maid cafe now. I just
Uh-huh.
I'm in.
like, gives him an open mic night and he just wears like the butler uniform.
Mhm.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna lure Jace Beleren to our maid cafe, and then when we're all like, "Oh, Jace Senpai," we're gonna stab him in the neck.
I'm in.
I
100%.
Body of famed
joked
planeswalker found in maid cafe with adorable omelet on face.
I joked about it, but I am like
I'm not joking.
I'm like,
I want a legitimate cover.
Put it in now, maid cafe.
The thing is, Katie, for someone who was so like upset about the tentacles last time, you're not making this any easier on yourself. Like,
I didn't even think about that.
Okay, you're right. You're right. It should be a host club, and we're all in tuxedos.
Oh, I like that. That's classy.
I mean, I didn't say that if it was a legitimate cover, you had to work there. Like, you all have
yeah.
jobs. You have
That's
guilds.
Oh, okay.
You have guilds that you belong to, and you have to do work for them because this was the next bit, right? In that this game and the setting of Ravnica, the characters in it are not the kind of wandering murder hobos you find in Dragonlance or the Forgotten Realms, right? These characters belong to a society. They have friends, they have allies, they have enemies and lovers, and like they exist in a world where there are other people, and they have a job, and they belong to a guild and have things they can do for that guild. Which pays for the place where they live. So we'll talk about your own individual kind of like situations after this. But for right now, this is the secret place where you all come and meet. when you are under the guise of your conspirators, right? When you're here to discuss compact business.
Okay, so
It's also just like a cool place
Can
to
we
hang out.
can we scale it back from maid cafe to just a cafe with poetry slams?
Yeah, I mean, it can still be a weird like maid cafe or a host club or whatever, but like that just means there will be characters that work there, which whether they know that you are in this conspiracy or not will be whether you pick the someone knows about its location.
Well,
bit
yeah,
too.
but if it's a maid or host club, then they are required by law to be cute.
That's true. But remember, Ravnica is a massive cosmopolitan environment full of all kinds of different creatures. So cuteness is just
I
like
will find them all cute.
Then they are
completely
the
subjective.
cutest Of
Says the
that of those individuals.
Yeah, yeah. I really want you to employ like an ogre or a cyclops at your maid cafe
Heck yeah, the
because
cutest.
If they're
cutest,
cutie, then we
most
good.
Reachable ogre.
it sounds to me like we've made this decision already.
Smooches. I'm sorry. We should
I'm-
let the other people have it.
I'm on board with the maid cafe. I'm like totally up there.
Smooches.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's do it.
so you want to go with for one of your benefits that it's got a legitimate cover. That's what you want to. Okay,
Yes.
all right. So you get another benefit and a flaw.
Okay, let's pick our flaw next so we can edge with the benefit
Right. Yeah.
afterwards.
If
They
somebody,
only hire felons.
if someone knows about its location, that could be if the someone is the person who works there, who like knows
So in
that
this
it, like,
in this
like,
case, it's like someone you either have to like an Azorius law mage you have to bribe to look the other way, or like someone who they have you at a disadvantage for knowing about it. Maybe it's like a pack of Gruul enforcers who you have to pay off, not to not to wreck the place, or yeah. Yeah, so this wouldn't just be like it has employees, because I think that's part of the legitimate cover. Like it's got a manager and some employees, depending on whatever it needs to retain its legitimate cover operation.
I'm leaning towards constant upkeep, or someone
that's
else
what
uses it.
I'm leaning towards constant upkeep too. I also like the idea of it being mobile.
Right. Yeah.
it's like a pop-up maid cafe. It can go wherever
Yeah.
it needs to be.
I mean, yeah,
What are you
like
doing here? We're cleaning.
so if you go with mobile, you can go a bunch of different ways, right? It could be like a Howl's Moving Castle type situation where it's like is it like a mobile housing unit that's been repurposed and it wanders around from like district to district. Or it could be
I
like
love
it could be on the back of like some enormous Simic or Selesnyan like creature. So it could be like a house on the back of a behemoth that like walks around.
Like a, I don't know, Volkswagen bus on the
Oh.
back.
Right.
The cat.
I don't know, cats.
Yeah. We've all seen the same movies, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
From the same director.
Yeah. Well, it's like there's even like a magic card for this that's like a lumbering fortress where you like pile all your guys into it, and like there's we got precedent, and it's Ravnica. We can get a little weird. So so mobile is certainly
I like constant upkeep then as well.
Yeah, let's do upkeep, and then I think mobile is what we're leaning towards.
It's
Let's do
either
that.
I would also think maybe
All right.
separate secret entrance and exit. Well, if it's mobile, I guess it gives us some options as well. No, mobile will probably be better off for us, depending.
Now
on
remember,
what our
you can
job-
take another benefit if you're willing to take one more flaw, right?
Probably only
That's a-
temporary. It's
That's a
probably
trap. That's a DM trap. though.
It's no such thing.
Yeah,
it is an
saying.
offering.
I
A
think that,
trap.
I think that the flaw could be that it's only temporary if we take another benefit, just because it's like it's con season, it's summer, like it's not gonna last forever. It's fine.
But I love her. I love our maid cafe.
Well, so I mean, if you take it's only temporary, that adds like a certain degree of sadness. If you go with like it's
Yeah.
alive, right? Like this is our
Thought
maid
about it.
cafe. It's
Bro,
dying.
It's seasonal work.
I mean, again, you're right. Like maybe the business, if it's only temporary, maybe the business is failing, right? Like maybe
No, don't say that.
makes me too sad.
I'm
See?
just-
Now
I'm just
crying.
saying.
I'm crying on air. Look what you did.
Guys, if we're getting a secret hideout, we are keeping the secret hideout.
Yes, thank you.
right, so we're just gonna strike out. It's only temporary. This has to be forever.
Yeah.
This is my forever home.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
We
I'll
all
die
live
here.
in the pantry of the Ravnica Maid Cafe. What's it called?
I mean, we'll figure that out. So do we want to do one more another benefit and a flaw, or are you okay with 2 and 1?
I'm okay.
I
with
would
it.
hold.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
it's 2 and
okay.
1.
Well, now that Katie has poisoned you all against me, I guess that's fine if you don't want it to be self-sustaining or easy to get to or well hidden. All right, that's fine.
Nothing's easy to get to. I'm Golgari.
All right. Oh, well, I was gonna say too with the Golgari one, if it was like a giant lumbering, like dying thing, that's not a problem the Golgari have. You could just be like, yeah, I can fix it. We can make it into a cool giant zombie. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It's basically the same.
Then it's a Halloween Maid Cafe.
I mean, listen, you can
See,
still.
It is seasonal.
Wait, I don't have spells to do that. Never mind.
Yeah, but you got friends.
Tried to get me. No, Tack doesn't have friends. Don't tell me that.
Cool.
Tried to trick me into a Halloween Maid Cafe.
All right, so
Reached out and tried to work on the goth.
So okay, so what do we decide? So it's a legitimate cover. It's mobile and it requires constant upkeep. And I think let's determine like some more details about it. So it's like, is it a what form does this mobile legitimate business upkeeping thing take?
Ooh,
Somebody was roboting.
we got some robot.
That's okay.
I'm going to talk right now. It's
Yeah,
not me.
It's not Carlos. Okay. I think
It's
it's
Is it
I think
me?
it's you, Masood. Yeah, you're just having some robot mic. That's okay. Yeah, okay. So we talked a little bit about it being maybe a maid cafe, and we talked a bit about it maybe being like, do we want to do the mobile thing and figure out like, is it an airship? Does it fly? Is it a
Oh,
is
wow.
it a creature? Why is it mobile? Is it
Why
a
is it
machine?
mobile? What's a maid cafe?
Oh yeah. I mean, when I say maid cafe, it doesn't have to literally be that, but so okay, so in who wants to help innocent Carlos out on this one?
I know it was a joke, but I kind of didn't know what the joke was.
Oh, so Carlos was just
Don't tell
laughing.
him.
Carlos was just laughing and nodding like, I know.
I'm
joke.
like, okay.
Yes, I
I'm
know
like-
jokes.
Someone's bound to give me a context clue on this.
Oh,
But it didn't.
Tell him.
Aw,
is-
so
it is-
innocent.
it is exactly what it sounds like. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a cosplay cafe that features maids.
Yeah, the people that work at the cafe dress like maids, and they tend to like, and this is gonna sound like a euphemism, but it's not. They give customers like special treatment where they like sing you songs and they like draw little hearts on your tea and like basically just like give
Is
you a
this a
real
real
nice
thing?
special. Fuck
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
Yes.
It's
Oh, I thought you guys were just making this up. Like,
No.
We're just really
no,
good at
it's
making up
funny
weird
because
stuff.
it's like very anime. It's very Japanese, very anime. So it ties back into like the
Oh.
tentacle thing and the Pokemon jokes we were making.
Gotcha.
It's a real thing, mostly in Japan. And yeah, it's just like staffed by people. This is why we were laughing before about
And
hiring
all of
an
the
ogre.
desserts are
because-
incredibly cute.
yes.
Like they make
It's
Oh.
very
little
cutesy.
desserts
It's
and-
very, very cutesy.
Yeah.
That's like its number one goal.
Ask Serena. Serena will explain it to you.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I didn't know, guys.
Yeah, it's
Um,
just really
Do
cute.
we have to dress up?
I mean,
Really?
again, I cannot stress this enough. You do not have to work there. It is not
Vinegar does have to work
like
there though.
if
Serena
we
works there.
We
He's
don't
the head
have to.
maid.
We all choose to.
Yeah.
He's the head maid. He keeps everybody's
like
schedules
if you really have it in your heart set that like alternate. I know we just got art made for these characters, but we're gonna need new art where they're all dressed like maids.
We're all
Um,
maids.
It's very funny. Road would die first before she
I was
worked
about to
out.
say, I feel like if anyone is a tsundere in this party, it's Road. That like
Okay, so
just
maybe-
angry and this is becoming an anime. So good.
I won't forget that.
So why would it travel? Why do we think it travels?
Yeah, right.
Does it travel to the new hotspots, or what? Why does it go to these different neighborhoods?
Part
think
of me
that's
thinks it's like a massive, like simic creature that also has like a structure on its back, like for whatever reason. And I think like it travels because service and like different parts of Ravnica, like almost like it like was created specifically as
It's like a food truck.
Yes, exactly. Like Ravnica's food
Okay.
truck. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a food truck. Okay.
Yeah, but I think it's very like posh. I feel like it's very like everyone goes there to get an Instagram picture in front of it, like because it's aesthetic.
I mean, it's almost like the #1 trending restaurant on whatever Ravnica's Instagram is, but not quite.
Yeah.
Up and coming.
Well, and that's the thing is you don't want it to be too you don't want it to be too big a deal because
Well, let's
it'll
just make it
attract
failing.
attention.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's just make it failing. That's why it's constantly moving. It's trying to get customers, but it's just like empty all the time and attracts weirdos.
So what did we decide that the legitimate cover is? Do we want it to be like it's a cafe, in the sort of thematic style of like a maid cafe?
Yeah. Ooh,
Okay.
we got some
Yes.
crackles.
Okay. Okay, cool.
No, I think it's Masood. Masood, maybe switch over to
Yeah, if you want to switch back to your other mic.
the other mic. Yeah.
Okay, so it's got a legitimate cover. It's like in the style of a maid cafe, and it's kind of like a sought after, like a boutique kind of deal, right? So it's not like anybody can go there. Which is funny because like you'd have a lineup, but like it's moving. Like I imagine so does it moves like seasonally, like it'll sit down for a little while and then it'll go elsewhere. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it has employees and someone who runs it for you. And because you didn't take someone, I guess what do you tell the person that that like operates this business that you're doing here?
Are they? Do you think that they're also a part of the cover? Like that's why, like.
Yeah, like you could just have the person who runs it be like a co-conspirator, right?
What if their connect to Rose? Like that's how we like find out about our missions and things like that is directly from whoever that person is.
Sure. Yeah. That makes sense. But you're the only cell that uses it because you didn't take the like someone else uses it thing. Okay. Yeah. Rose has her own stuff going on, so this wouldn't be like a place that she owns or operates herself. But you definitely could like meet with them here. Okay. So it's a compact owned business. Operated by a member of the conspiracy. Cool. Who I will detail eventually anyway. Okay. Cool. Okay. All right. And it's mobile, and we had talked about it being like, do we want to go with some kind of like big like creature and it's on its back? Or is it built into the creature? Like how like integrated is this business with the thing that moves it around?
I had an idea, but it was a little too like horror themed, and I was like, better not. Though.
I mean, you are the Golgari, so like the idea of it just being a big dead thing that was brought back to life and is like shambling around, and you've made like the maid cafe out of its ribs. It could be a horror themed maid cafe, right? Like.
I'm just imagining just like a very cute turtle with a maid apron on. He's very, very large and has a cafe on his back.
I feel like I think you and TK are envisioning different things.
I know.
Yeah, that's cute. Because I was envisioning like a dead animal, and you have to go through its gaping maw in order to get inside, and
right,
nestled inside of its tummy.
Yeah,
why not?
I'll never be the same.
Yeah, I think this is why you run the Ravenloft show. I think that's why this happened.
Yeah, let's
that tracks.
I don't know. I have no idea how integrated it is. What do you guys think?
Yeah, does it wear the business like a backpack, or is the business a part of it? Or I guess it could like hang underneath too.
I like it wearing it as a backpack.
Yeah,
Like wearing the business as a backpack.
Maybe it is a turtle, and the business is its shell. It's just like a shell that's like shaped in the form of a building.
Okay, I'm down
That's
with that.
cute.
Yeah, I mean, I don't imagine you have like a whole building. Like it's more like again, going with the Miyazaki, it's like a shack, like an overcomplicated
Yeah,
shack
yeah.
type situation.
And then it like
Yeah.
just sucks its little legs inside.
Yeah, and just like has a nap until
And,
it's
like,
time to
takes
poke
a
it and wake
nap.
up and like
Yeah.
lumber off to the next thing. Okay,
Yeah.
so who made this? Who made this creature? Right? If it's not like a horrific experiment, then that kind of rules out Rakdos, Golgari. Is it? It could
Probably the
be
Smite.
if it's a big gruel behemoth, it probably wouldn't be stoked about having people on and around it all the time. The Selesnyan Conclave have big animals. Simic obviously have big animals, but if we go Simic, it can't just be a turtle. It has to be like a
Oh,
turtle,
Oh yeah.
No, it'd have to be something real
armadillo,
Yeah.
like cockroach. Like you have to just mix a
Armadillo.
bunch of creatures together that don't make sense.
I like it being a Selesnyan because Selesnyans are very like focused on service and making people like feel at peace and things like that. So it could be like that sort of people come in and they're like, here's your warm tea and
Oh, so
why
it's
don't you sit for a while and meditate?
I love that you're making this business that's like the opposite of the four of you. Where you're like, it's just like a chill place to like have a tea on the back of this beautiful
Nobody would ever suspect.
this beautiful creature, and that it's actually a front for like a Rakdos, a Golgari, a Simic, and yeah, that's good. I think that's good. That's nice.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think that works. Okay.
And
So
under the table are all of my spiked melon ballers.
okay. So
Spiked
legitimate
nose.
cover.
Stuck there with gum. Just
Operated
like,
by members of the
Yeah, with gum. Just like big globs of big red.
oh no.
Okay. Okay, so it's a place where people come to like rest and like rejuvenate. So probably the menu is all like delicate elf bullshit, right? Like a single drop of dew from a morning flower that only blooms once in 1,000 years. Like, you know, like elf stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why
Like
we
a-
go
like a
here.
dr- like a drink that you like, it's in gas form and you smell it.
Yeah.
Like this-
yeah.
all
And
right.
it's served to you by a maid.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, the menu is all stuff that Tom Haverford would order.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. And like probably too, there's like the music in this place would be just like Enya to the extreme. Like just
Mm.
massive elf tunes.
There's a little new agey.
Yeah.
They saw Torgor's lute, and they're like the only people that would let him play regularly because they're like, we have faith you will improve your art, and while improving your art, you'll improve your spirit.
A lot of people don't know, but Torgor is really a prog rock fan. Prog rock acoustic stuff on Thursday nights.
Yeah, and Winnegar is really into like emo music. He loves like My Clerical Romance and
Stop. You're
Jeez.
fired. I hate this.
Oh boy.
what?
How dare you do this to me when I wasn't expecting?
I just like sometimes you say things, and I just close my eyes, and I'm like, I did sign a contract. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Oh no.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay.
Never been more mad.
Yeah, good. Well, Carlos is fired, so that was fun. Thanks for helping.
Great. Bye, girls.
Yeah, get out of here.
I'll see you guys later.
Okay, all right. So it's legitimate cover. It's mobile. What is the constant upkeep? Like, is this the like, the feeding of the thing? I mean, obviously, if it's a business, the easy constant upkeep is money, right? You need to.
Right.
It needs to
I
be
think
paid.
it's maybe emotional upkeep. Like the owner / chef is a real artist and just needs a lot of constant guidance and
artist. Yeah.
is a real artist who needs a lot of
Yeah.
guidance.
What if it's like, what if it's this? The constant upkeep is we can't keep like a manager, so it's constantly like changing all the time.
Because the
Okay.
chef is too much of a piece of work.
Yeah.
So the managers keep quitting. I love it.
Okay, good. All right, so it requires constant upkeep in the sense that like the person in charge is like just massively high maintenance and very difficult to deal with, and the staff rotates far too often for there to be any stability. So for it to maintain your ability to like hide out there, then you need to like recruit staff for it. Okay, good. I like
It was
that.
hard because not everyone. There's so many other jobs in Ravnica, and a maid cafe hasn't really caught on yet.
And you
Yes.
gotta be cute.
And you have to be cute.
Yes.
So
Good. Perfect. Okay. I like it. All right. So this is your current business. I like that it's mobile because we can kind of move it around and see different parts of District 10. And you have this big Silesian behemoth. Yeah, feel free to kind of like ponder what you imagine it looks like. I will do the same. We'll keep it vague for the time being, so people can imagine their own Silesian behemoth, and then we can kind of think on what we want the details to look like. Okay, cool. So you have your secret hideout. I guess it needs like a name, both the creature and the business itself. So what's a good name for like a kind of like new agey, like meditative dining experience on the back of an enormous creature that wanders around Ravnica?
Oh, the dewdrop.
Ooh.
I
Ooh.
like that. I
like
think
it.
that's really cute.
Right.
But I'm also going to wait a couple of minutes and then rip off chat if y'all don't know.
Yes, a
Just
time-honored
in case.
tradition. We're all just thinking really hard about our idea. What could it
Let me
be?
Just bring up that real quick.
I do
Oh,
like that
see.
it came up before, and I think I saw this as I think this was a YouTube comment. Someone made the comment that we should just now change the name of the show to Jace Beleren Must Dine. So if you're gonna
I
lure,
put in chat.
That was-
Jace
it-
Beleren
yes.
must diners, drive-ins, and dives.
very good, very good,
I've
nice.
written that in chat.
Yeah.
I am host in the shell is my chat favorite.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's pretty good.
Oh, that's so good. Who
That's
said
pretty
that? Was that
good.
Drummer Boy?
It's very,
Damn it, that's so
it was,
good.
yes.
Oh, that's
Ah.
so good.
All
Little
right.
might
Billy's
be it.
popping on a mind. We could say dewdrop in some. All right, I'm just pushing my idea now. You're it as I said it out loud.
Oh man, I feel
smashed avocado sandwiches.
I feel like Host in the Shell is the top of the pile
I
right
think
now.
But what if Dewdrop's the name of like the creature that it's on?
Oh,
Maybe
that's
that's so
that's extremely
Yeah.
cute.
Dewdrop is the mascot, like the creature, but
Dewdrop
also, like,
is
a
the
little
big
cartoon
turtle thing.
mascot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And so like all of them wear like little aprons with like a very like cartoony version of Dewdrop on it.
That's
And then
perfect.
they have the daily specials are like Dewdrop's dailies and stuff, and then they have like daily specials about what. Never mind.
It's great. It's
I used
great.
to work at a cafe. I'm just
We're
really
playing a completely different game now. Just take
Different
all the
game.
rules of Dungeons and Dragons and just hurl them out the window because now this game is about making the best making the
a
best
solid
possible
business
business. Yeah. So that eventually you can lure Jace Beleren in and murder him.
Mhm.
That's the new plan.
It's
Okay.
so Team Rocket. It just might work.
Right? Yeah. And I feel like
If this were an anime, he would come in like right now and be like, "Oh, see, you.
Opening day.
Yeah,
like
I
it.
saw this pamphlet."
good turtle puns. That's nice. I like that.
Jordan Shively. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Shell's Kitchen.
It's very.
And then I'm done.
Oh.
Now I'm
That's very-
Just
Now
dead.
I'm done.
That's it.
Now
it's
I'm
over. So one thing I gotta know too, if it's a legitimate business on the surface, like where do you meet? Do you have like a special like VIP room? Do you have?
Yes.
Is that what it is? It's like a different room in the business.
It's a karaoke room.
It's a karaoke room. Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
What a great idea I had.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. All right.
Gonna cry. So excited.
You'll never let Carlos pick the cast again.
All right. Secret VIP karaoke room. I mean, honestly, like the real core job of being the dungeon master is not to be like, here is my story, fucking live it. It's to be like, yes, but maybe if we dial it back like a little bit, okay. Is everybody getting a chance to contribute? Okay, good. It's about saying yes in like the gentlest, most productive way possible. So you meet in the back in a secret VIP karaoke room. The problem is the only people who have the technology. The only people that have the technology to make karaoke machines in this setting would be the Is It League. And I don't know about you, but I don't feel safe touching an Is It karaoke machine.
Yeah.
Like it probably involves like a lot of like cranial like electrodes and like you sing with your brain. Like it's a whole thing and it takes mana to run it.
refurbished. They're like vintage is it stuff that they just picked up and then they refurbish them, and they don't actually have like electricity or anything. You're just read like a handwritten.
That's what are they hand cranked like?
Yeah, maybe it's like like a music box type thing. They all just sound the same, like music boxes.
Perfect. Good, like a MIDI hand cranked karaoke fantasy karaoke machine.
It's very retro. And
I'm
very
pretty sure, Winnegar, that Rourke found this for you in the garbage.
Oh, yes,
I'm pretty
definitely.
sure that's how you got a hold of this thing.
Our karaoke machine.
Yeah, found in an Is It scrapyard somewhere. Like, here, I don't know what this does, but have fun with it.
Oh
Okay.
no! Somebody said, "Is it your song?"
Okay, meet in the back in a secret VIP karaoke room. Maybe like the music is a cover for Secret Conversations.
Yeah.
Cool.
We just play
Yeah.
it close to the door so no one can hear us.
Yeah.
So
It's just only My
face
Clerical
super close.
Romance. It's every.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Right.
I'm not okay, Helena. They're all the same in this world too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is the dangerous thing about saying something out loud is it just becomes real. So they're out there somewhere. They're definitely like a Rakdos troop though. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they used to have street cred, not anymore.
No, yeah, they sold out. All right, cool. Well, we have your secret hideout. And I guess the question that I would have for you then is, do you go directly from the sewer exit that you use, the subterranean tunnel exit? Do you use that to go right to your base, or do you like separate and plan to meet back there? Like, what is the security protocol here? Maybe we can just do it live. So we fade in kind of for the first like proper shot. We fade in on a street, an alleyway, and there's chaos in the background, right? We can hear shouting. People are running back and forth. And there is like chaos basically because there was an explosion, right? There was an explosion and there's a warehouse that's on fire, and and there's chaos in the streets, which has given you an opportunity to make your way through this secret back tunnel out of the Boros Legion base and have made your way to an exit. So we see the group of you emerging onto the street from a tunnel. Who's leading the way? Who's the person in charge here?
I feel like Winnegar is not the person in charge here. He's like pretty worse for the wear right now. So he's like basically looking for. He's holding on to someone. He's probably holding on to someone, helping him out of this situation.
And it's not me. It's not me that he's holding on to. I just make
it. Okay, so Winnegar, maybe you're like helping Tack up out of the sewer exit, out of the manhole. Okay.
Yeah.
I am petite.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. The rungs are all quite far apart for your little goblin arms.
Here, come on, Tack. Just grab my hand, and I'll boost you up, pull you up.
Tack goes ahead and grabs his hands, but Tack is still covered in blood, so that's your call, buddy.
Oh, you're very sticky. Just try maybe just wipe it on yourself or something.
And like Tack like crawls up his arms and like
Oh,
up
God.
over his shoulder and down his back and onto the street.
Well, that was very unnecessary, but okay. Well, guys, wait, should we just head back to the, And he like taps like.
I think we should, but I think that we should take many turns as we possibly can, and maybe stop somewhere else for a while, and then eventually make our way. I don't want any followers.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you wanna make your way to the hideout? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we, since we're struggling with some feedback problems, why don't we take a break here? We'll try to get that fixed, and then we'll come back and we'll do the other 2 hours rather than waiting another half and then doing the break there. Does that sound good? Okay, cool. Well, we have our hideout. We have our adorable maid cafe. So let's take a quick break here, and when we get back, we'll go and check it out in person. We'll be right back. This stream is brought to you by Roll20, an easy-to-use virtual tabletop dedicated to making tabletop RPGs accessible to everyone. Join the adventuring party at roll20.net. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode number 2 of Jace Beleren Must Die. I'm pretty sure that the problem that we were having stems from the fact that as soon as you said, "Is it karaoke machine?" it just all went to hell.
Just
So,
It was
yeah.
a curse.
we need more
We should-
reputable hardware producers, and not like a group run by a weird dragon. So we cut back to this alley, right? And there's smoke, plumes of smoke, because obviously the explosion you set off before, which turned out to be completely fruitless. It was a fruitless explosion. You did it just for kicks. It set a fire, right? Because heat and flames and there's warehouses and now there's burning, and so there's a fire set, and so people are rushing to the scene, trying to put out the fire. The warehouse is aflame, smoke billowing up into the sky. But in the alley, we see the group of you climbing up out of thing. And yeah, the explosion will now serve its purpose as a distraction. So, is your plan to then like slip into the crowd and make your way to your hideout?
I think so. Yeah. I think a lot of us are pretty banged up right now. We can use a little rest.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, let's do a group stealth check. Now, do you split up, or do you all try to like maneuver
that's a good
stealthily together?
I'm down to split up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm in a blood-stained Golgari janitor uniform, so
I mean, a bloodstained Golgari anything is
Yeah,
pretty
exactly.
par for the course.
yeah, exactly.
You're gonna
I'm
get
a-
looks like, why aren't you underground where you belong? Gross.
I mean, I'm a goblin, so
I mean, well, the thing about goblins though is like, and I found this to
Oh,
be really, I found this really interesting when I kind of got into Ravnica. Is like, yeah, they do a lot of like traditionally goblin-y stuff. There's lots of goblins in the Gruul clans and stuff, but also like an inordinate number of goblins in the Boros Legion, like goblin soldiers and stuff. Yeah, there's tons of them. Yeah, they serve in the military. So yeah, I mean, they're gonna look at you and you're like, oh, you're one of those kinds of goblins,
I
not
think
not
it's
one of the
more
nice.
weird for Torgor to be standing next to a Simic. So Torgor is gonna find his alley and make his way out. Because just double checking, we all know where Host in the Shell is at.
Yes, Dewdrop does not move casually,
Got
and you are informed generally of where it will be.
Then Torgor makes his way over to the Dewdrop.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna split up.
On my it's like single path. Yeah.
Okay. So anyone who is attempting to be stealthy, go ahead and roll a stealth roll. I think you have a distraction. You can roll with advantage, so you can keep whatever the highest one is. Okay. Nice. It's not bad. The 17 with a +1. Winnegar is stealthy.
What?
Inversely, even with advantage. Wow. So good. So Winnegar gets a 17. Road
Yeah,
gets
it's like
Road gets a
it's
9.
like that scene. It's that scene from Usual Suspects where he's just like walking a little crooked and then he starts going straight.
Tack got a 19 and Torgor got a 4.
It's hard. You know.
because
That was so bad.
because Tax like roll was the same with or without advantage. I imagine Tax just walking through the crowd.
Yeah.
Just like it's Tuesday, man.
Yeah, Tax got that natural like stealth that just like, I'm just gonna dress how I dress. I'm covered in blood. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing.
Yeah, I smell like I blew something up, man. It's
Yeah, exactly. Cool. All right. So Tack and Winnegar, nobody like stops you or bothers you, whatever. You make your way out into the city and head for the last known location of Dewdrop of Host in the Shell.
Dewdrop.
And yeah, and I think that Torgor, you come around a corner and are heading for the street, and in an attempt to be stealthy, like what does that look like? Like is Torgor trying to like sneak around or trying to play it like casual? You're like whistling with your like, hands in your pockets, like.
Torgor realizes as a minotaur near the Boros Legion, this hideout, people are going to assume that he's a Boros agent, but he's not because of his leather vest, of course. Torgor decides he's got to be confident in his movement, but like, he's got a bloody maul on his back. There is clearly signs of distress and violence that have been around him that are not common for, I'd say, for this part of Ravnica. So he's just like very confidently, like eyes forward, marching down, but that just makes him seem more menacing and threatening as he's going. He's walking with such purpose.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll start with Torgor's complication, because I just want to let Katie stew in the fact that she failed the roll and has the package. So Torgor, you try to play it casual. You like walk out and you start heading out in the street, and it's like the scene of an emergency, right? There's like stuff going on kind of blurrily in the background that indicates to us that this is a dangerous scene. And then you hear someone, and you know that thing where you hear someone like yelling, and then it takes a second and you realize they're yelling at you.
Yeah.
And you hear somebody being like, hey, over here, please. And and you hear someone shouting, and they're not shouting like, hey, stop. They're shouting for like help.
Ooh.
Yeah. What do you do?
Torgor keeps walking.
Cold. All right.
Chaotic neutral.
Yeah. So as Torgor, like, do you pause at all? Is there a moment of like, what should I do? Or are you just like, nope, I'm getting out of here?
I think he shifts his head and kind of looks over his shoulder in the direction, but doesn't break stride.
Okay. Yeah. You see two like Azorius arresters, but they're not arresting somebody. They're trying to lift a piece of debris, like a joist or a beam or something that's fallen, and it's like pinned somebody. There's a third person
now that I see it,
who is like pinned under this piece of wood, and they're humans, and they're like struggling to get this thing, and they see this big strong minotaur, and they're like, hey, come on, we need your help, like come over here, this guy's trapped.
Torgor, now realizing what it is, still keeps walking.
Yeah. Fuck him. Okay, great. So you're just like, nah, not doing it, and just
No, I'm on a mission right now. I
Sick.
need to get to the host in the show. That's it.
All right. Okay. Cool. The universe will remember this. That's good. That's good though. You got a reason. You're just like, nah, not about that life. Not about
Also,
that saving people.
Pretty
life.
sure Torgor is still at 1 HP, so this could have gone poorly if I hung out there too long. But
Yeah, Torgor is a squishy baby right now, but that's fine. Yeah. So you see somebody you being pinned, and these arresters trying to help them, and you're just like, no, not my problem. And I think probably there's a couple more like kind of fading shouts behind you, like, hey, we need your. Damn it, asshole.
Torgor, everyone only sees Torgor for his muscle. No one sees
Right.
Torgor and says, hey, why don't you bust on this corner for me? You
Yeah,
know?
I mean that's literally why they did. They're like, hey, there's a big muscly boy, so
Right.
maybe, and so you're like, no, maybe if you had gotten to know the real me first.
Yeah, you sure showed them. I mean,
Yeah, they definitely will come away from this thinking like, it's us. We're the problem. Not that minotaur that walked away from this crushed man. It's us. We did it. We're the problem here. Yeah, I have changed my opinion about all minotaurs. Okay, all right. Yeah, so you just walk away. Perfect. That's it. You get away after that. Nobody else notices you. You're okay. So
Can't get away from your conscience, though.
I mean, you can get away from it if
Torgor
it's
is fine with this.
Torgor's conscience made an attack of opportunity and missed. So
Yeah, that's how super villains are made, Torgor.
yeah. Have you met
Spider-Man.
Torgor yet?
This is
Or
what's happening. This is the occurrence.
yeah. So so you're gonna just walk off. So Road, then while you're making your way, what does it look like for you? Are you like sticking to the shadows? Like, cause the rest of your friends have just kind of like just gone. What do you do?
Yeah. I ditch the uniform as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Number one.
Okay.
Most important. And then I'm just sort of trying to take alleyways, sort of stay out of sight. The basics, the bare bone basics.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple turns so that I can't be tracked. It's going very well.
Yeah. All that being said, you got a 9. So like That's good. That's good.
It's going well for you.
Let's see. So hypothetically, if there was somebody following you, get out of here, Chrome. If there was somebody following you, let's see what they would get. Okay, yeah. So if someone was following you, they would definitely they would notice you. So you're making your way through like relatively unfamiliar territory. You haven't been out this way before, and you find yourself traveling through an alley, and you don't get too far away before you come around a corner and you spot two Azorius. Actually, they'd be Boros, two Boros Legionnaires, maybe Wojeks, like a Wojek and a Legionnaire. But there's two people in like uniform, standing around a corner, and you notice them too late for you to be like whoop and turn back around, and they see you, and it looks like they're like guarding this alley, like they're holding a perimeter. You spot them, they spot you. There's a moment of like eye contact. What do you do?
I need to know, do we get our level stuff now, or do we have to complete a long rest?
I think it's fine to just have you leveled up now and be at full health or whatever. That's fine. We can just assume that's
okay. How tall are the buildings surrounding me?
That's a great question. I think things are pretty crowded in here. We had talked about it being like kind of a tumble down like warehouse district. So I imagine that there's a wide main street, and then there are back like alleyways, some of which are wide enough for like a wagon to be brought in so you can load goods. So they're pretty tall. I think they're probably like three or four stories depending on the thing, but they have like windows, and the exterior is made mostly of like wood or stone.
Is there an open window around?
Yeah, probably, or like a breakable one, but higher up.
Yes, I'd like to when they make eye contact with me, and I have been made. I'd like to like start slowly walking backwards and then spin the key point to take Step of the Wind, which doubles my jump.
Okay.
And my disengage or dash. So if there is an open window, I will try to get through that. And if there, or like a breakable one, and if not, I'm going to try and make my way.
An open window you could try to jump to. But let's talk about your high jumping. So if you can move, if you can move 10 feet, I mean a 16-foot like vertical jump is pretty impressive. If you get a 10-foot run at it. So I think what happens is that the cops basically, they see you, and there's a moment where they're like, wait a second, okay, what's going on? And you start to back away, and they're like, okay, like you see us, you're trying to get away, and one of them, she shouts, she's like, freeze, and you don't, and you want to turn and run.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Let's see how far away. I'll random roll to see how far away they are from you.
She's not smart, and she's not charismatic. She's only got an option.
Yeah, so you spot them from 60 feet away. So you've got some room to try and lose them. So I think if you like with your key point, if you roll, you know what? Roll initiative. Let's see because if they go first, they'll get within like disengage range. Okay. All right, you got 12.
Great.
All right, let me find an appropriate stat block for a couple of nerds. I think they're probably just guards. The worst first level enemy in the game. Okay, so let's see what I got. I got a 9. Okay, so you do have your opportunity to like book it.
Okay.
So they turn, they start running towards you. You crouch down and you do the $10 million man and just like fly up into the air.
Thank you.
You grab hold of the edge of the windowsill and like pull yourself inside.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you drop down into the upper floor of this warehouse. It's like the little like foreman's office. So it's all dusty. This is an
Okay.
abandoned warehouse. There's like paper everywhere. You scare some rats and they like scatter when you land on the floor. A little cloud of dust pillows out from under your feet. There's a door on one side. There's a big, like very dusty glass window in front of you that you assume lets you look over the warehouse floor. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna make my way to what I would assume be the opposite side of the perimeter that they were holding, sort of in the building.
Okay. I mean, there's really just the
and-
one. Your options are basically like you can go. I mean, there's two exits, I guess, if you want to jump through the plate glass window. But so the warehouse, if the warehouse is it's shitty Adam Coble drawing time. If the warehouse is a box, there is a
Okay.
smaller box, and then
Okay.
probably some stairs. That's what those lines mean. Those are stairs. And then
Thank you.
yeah, and then there's like a window here, and you came in this window. There's probably another window over there, and then who knows what is going on downstairs because you haven't seen it. And then you were in this alley, and you were like, beep, and jumped into the window. So this is where we're at
Okay.
now. This is where we live. The
All right,
guards, the bad guys. I mean, they're good guys, but whatever. Are running this way, and then they probably see you rocket jump up into the window.
I look down at the warehouse floor. It's empty. Is it empty?
Yeah, the
What-
window's
what's
all
down
the window's all dusty and shit, so you can't really like you run over and like you have to wipe the dust off of it. I mean, you see crates, boxes, and crates of like abandoned like goods. You don't no idea what's in them. There's probably some kind of like winch situation here, and then there's like a big door that leads out to the front of the main street.
Okay. I head back down. I head downstairs.
Okay, so you're gonna go through this door. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
so you
gonna head-
throw the door open, and you just want to like run down the stairs.
Yes.
Can you make a dexterity saving throw?
Oh goodness.
I mean, none of this would happen if you hadn't failed your stealth check.
I know.
Okay, all right.
Thank
so
you.
that's right. You were a graceful monk. So one of the steps, like this is
Sometimes.
it's a janky old warehouse. So one of the steps just breaks, but instead of your foot going through and you getting stuck, you just you like maybe do like a cool roll or something and continue down the stairs. So you get to the bottom of the stairs, just in time to hear from this door. You hear rattling, as the Azorius officers have gone back around and are now trying to get into the warehouse.
Can I look and see if there's like any sort of sewer entrance or path to a basement?
Right.
Around?
You want to get back into the sewer?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Make a perception check. Nice. Okay. Yeah. I mean, probably there'd be some kind of like drainage or something. There's a grate over here.
All right. Can I try and pry it open?
Yeah. Yeah. You want to run over and do that? Okay.
Yeah.
You hear the jingling of keys outside as the Azorius are like finding they're like oh, we gotta have a key for this or something. They're like trying the door. So you run over, make an athletics check. This thing is old and rusty and like hasn't been cleaned well. But you crouch
I
down,
have a
grab it.
-1. Please pray.
Damn, you got that 20.
Oh.
So even with a -1, you yank the grate up from the floor. There is a tunnel down below you could squeeze into.
Okay, I squeeze into said tunnel.
Okay, yeah, because this is like a drainage hole, not like a manhole. So you have to squeeze it, like squeeze down there. So you're just gonna jump in?
Yeah, I can swim.
Okay.
I can breathe underwater, and I assume it's not great, but if it's evasion, then it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So so you fall down into the water. There's a splash below. As up above, we see these Azorius finally get the door open, and they come in, and one of them is like lighting or I guess taking out like a continual light, like a flashlight, and like starts looking around. And they find the grate, and they know that you like went down into the sewer, but they don't have any like quick way to access it. and so you escape. You manage to escape pursuit, and you are safe. So after we fade out on these guys, Tack, I think you're probably the first one back because you can move around in Ravnica pretty easy. So you come back, and I think we just cut to an interior shot of the. Are you in the karaoke room, or are you like hanging out in the cafe? Yeah, you're waiting for your friends. Where do we see Tack?
I'm in the karaoke room.
Yeah.
Tack's
Okay.
in the karaoke room.
Are you by yourself? Have you like dragged one of the maids back here and you're like singing to them? Are you drinking? You having a tea? What's going on?
Oh no, Tack doesn't drag the maids back here. Tack likes the karaoke room just to themselves, just drinking themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't really sing with the music. They just kind of put on the instrumental tracks. And
Nice.
kind of chill.
Right. Just hearing that like off-brand. Like, yeah.
One of the best things about like listening to the instrumental tracks and being alone is that I can hear the blood inside my own skull.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's a good sound.
Right.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So you've picked out one of your favorite like wax cylinders and inserted it into the machine. We can just see this thing kind of slowly like operating on the mechanical power that you've cranked into it. And then Winnegar, you arrive. So what does that look like when you come in?
So Winnegar kind of just does the secret knock, I guess, for the door. And he's just like,
It's a good secret knock.
That is a really good secret knock.
Yeah, I
We
like
don't
it.
have a secret knock, man. You could just walk in.
Tack, I just told you we've been over this. We have to have a secret knock.
Right.
Tack opens the door. Is just
You're not supposed to call me Tack either.
oh yeah, I forgot.
In the room.
It's a pleasure to meet. I don't. You're right. This is stupid. And he closes the door. He closes the door. And Tack, what are you listening to? What's the song you put on?
I don't know. Because I'm like, oh man, Tack would definitely listen to like a lot of Kansas. But then I was like, Selesnians probably don't have like Kansas. So there's probably like I don't know. It's probably like a folk cover of Lordy.
Good.
A
Yeah.
folk cover of what?
Lordy or like Guar.
Oh, okay. Guar.
That took a weird turn. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it did.
Guar is straight up just like a Rakdos act for sure. Like, they're in universe 100%.
Yeah.
But I love the idea that like there is a form of Selesnian music that just takes popular songs and just
Yeah.
blandifies them, just makes them
Yeah,
like
it's
you could
like-
listen to while you're getting a cucumber facial. Like it's
Yeah, it's like
is this
System
raining
of a
blood?
Down, but on Mountain Dulcimer.
Yeah. It's very offensive.
It's like wake up. Open the door,
Yeah,
wake
blast beats don't really translate so well into
It's bad.
hammered dulcimer.
It's
But
not
you know
great,
what?
but
That's fine. That's what you got.
it's great.
It's the establishment.
Yeah, so
Winnegar comes in and he's like, is this let the bodies hit the floor on lap carb?
Wait. What? You know this guy passed away, right?
hey, you know what? Let me just lower this here. Okay. He cranks it down. He like lowers it. He's just like,
Where's everyone?
I don't know. I'm not like y'all's babysitter.
what?
'Cause we're
Okay. You know what?
adults. So
Yeah, we're definitely adults. You think we should go back there and look for him?
I mean, you made it, and like,
And Tack just does like a gesture motion.
What do you
I'm sure they're
What do you
fine.
mean? Yeah, I know. Well, what was that about though?
Yeah, didn't you have like 2 spears in your chest like 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, and I took it like a champ. That's what happened right there.
Yeah, man, we
I'm
all
still
saw
here.
it. We all saw
Yeah,
it.
well, yeah, but also like yeah, who am I kidding? I should be dead right now.
and then Tack will like think about it. And be,
What time is it?
Yeah, what time is it? I would.
To-
How long have we been
To
gone?
me,
How long?
to me, the time of day is currently immaterial, so it can be whatever time. But I figure like Tack got here. I mean, you're quick, right? And you
Yeah.
actually have an ability for like getting around, right?
I do.
Yeah.
Technically, if we'd traveled together, I could have used that ability, but both Tack and I are selfish. And
No, fair enough.
to
Fair
how we
enough.
can help others. So
Yeah. So I
I
figure
know it changed
I-
nothing.
I figure it didn't take Tack very long, and it probably took Winnegar twice as long as it took Tack.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll say Tack has listened to 4 of these wax cylinders, so maybe it's been 30 minutes
Yeah.
since Tack got here.
Okay.
Gotcha.
That's fine.
Eh,
Oh man. Well, do you have the report? Who has the report? Rhodes
would
has
you
the
give-
report.
Why would you give me the
Well, I definitely didn't give you the report.
I thought that you had it.
I definitely don't have it.
Oh.
Rhodes has it, probably.
Well, where'd you leave her?
The same place you left her.
Don't blame me for your mistakes, man.
Wait, was it? It's not my. I'm not. I feel like. How come you're able to push responsibility on me, but I can't do the same for you?
Tack just like pats his knee.
It's just like
Tack's like, I'm not responsible for you. That's why.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
you can take your crisis and have it for like the next 20 minutes, or we can go find the report.
Yeah, I guess we should maybe wait to see if they show up and then go out.
Yeah.
It just hits play on the adults.
Dope. I love this song. I love this track.
Well, so here's the thing though, is like Tack, you're sitting down next to the machine, and it is running out of juice, right? You can see the handle like slowly. Somebody is gonna need to crank that thing. Winnegar's standing right next to it, so
I'll crank it, but we got to put on my track next.
Yeah, man, we'll totally do it. It's
Oh,
whatever.
awesome. Living La Vida Loca. You're going to love this one. You're definitely going to love this one.
Yeah.
good.
Wait, I've always wondered how you spell your name.
What do you mean? Why?
I don't know. I just thought about it as Winnegar. That's just such an like win.
Yeah, like win. All I do is win.
Oh man, that's such a cool
And like as Winnegar is changing the track over and everything,
Mhm.
Tack is writing Winnegar's name on the tab.
Ah,
Oh,
perfect. Yes,
Oh.
good.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, you're going to love this guy.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's living La Vida Loca for sure.
Of course it is.
Yeah, I'm not paying for this.
Yeah, perfect. So Torgor, I think you are the next to arrive. And you show up and you've got, still like blood on you and what have you. And we said there's no alternate entrance or exit. So you come in the main door. So the people like who are sitting here kind of enjoying their calming tea, see this menacing looking minotaur come in, and they all kind of like you get some stares. I'm just gonna walk through, just gonna
walk through. Torgor acknowledges them, but he also realizes he's like, "Oh, is this my clerical romance playing?" Torgor
Oh, no.
cover on this for a while. Try to defeat the situation with his loot that's still on his back.
Yeah. So just like I belong here. I know
belong
things
here,
about
yeah.
stuff. Yeah. Okay. So I think mostly people kind of return to their own business, where they're just like, okay, I don't need to worry about this. I'm gonna just stay calm. Just affirmations. Just relax. It's fine. I'm here to have a relaxing time.
Mhm.
And so they kind of ignore you, and you head into the back.
Mhm.
You can hear, I guess, Winnegar, are you like singing in the back when Torgor arrives?
Yeah, he would be. I think he's doing that thing where he's listening to one of his favorite songs, but he's not singing, but subconsciously saying certain words like out of context, just like with the song. So it'd be like,
Right.
Loca.
Just kind of jamming in your head, and sometimes it gets out.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Devil
Good.
Red,
All right.
Loca.
So Torgor, you arrive and you see Tack and Winnegar. They got here safely before you, but there's no sign of Road when you open the door.
Torgor,
Tack
I mean, Bunt Cake is happy to see Mandible and Blueberry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tack looks at Torgar with just like this pleading, like, I wish I were dead look in their eyes.
Where is Mauve?
What?
I thought maybe Marvel was with you.
No, Mauve didn't let me hold their tentacles, so they definitely didn't want to walk.
Oh yeah.
You lost Mauve. So you lost Mauve and you lost the report. Great.
For the record, the report was never with Torgor. Sorry, Bunt Cake. Bunt Cake only had.
God, it's confusing when the characters have two names and refer to themselves in the third person.
Torgor is so confused.
Yeah, no, totally. It's great.
No. But I'm here.
Yeah.
Where's Mauve?
Mauve has report because Blueberry over there got 2 spears to the chest. And
Wait, why do we keep bringing that up, guys? A lot of people took hits, right? Like we were all in it to win it, right?
I didn't take any hits, but
You did hide under a body though, right? Can we talk about that?
yeah, and that's why I didn't take any hits.
You're like, Tech's like, yeah, and it was dope as hell.
Yeah, right. It worked great.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, worked out great for me. I don't know what you were planning on doing. Could have hit under your body, but I didn't because I respect you.
Oh, well, I mean, that's nice that you respect me and all. Do you want to hang out more often?
No.
Okay.
absolutely
I
not.
understand. Completely understandable.
Can
A little
Torgor
hitch in
take
the throat.
track? I'm not really a fan of whatever this is.
Oh no, this is pretty dope. I could put it on repeat.
Please don't.
Let's restart it.
Okay, let's focus. Where is the report?
right. And I think when you say that, like, where is the report? This is when Road arrives. Now, Road, did you go straight from the dampness of the sewer to just like you walk in like
not.
just no? Yeah, I figured.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I have stopped somewhere to freshen up.
Yeah. Did you go home
Anywhere.
first?
Probably.
Okay.
I
right.
probably like went home first, took a long shower.
Right.
then,
Okay. So like several hours pass then for Torgor and Tack and Winnegar. And at what point do you think like, Road has run into trouble?
Probably after like the 3rd time we had to listen to this Eladrin Iglesias album.
Mhm.
I can be your hero, baby.
No, you can't be
Oh
anyone.
yeah, no, this is a really good song. This is a good track.
Is it, man? No.
You can take my breath away.
Oh, I wish we were dead.
Just a goblin covered in blood. I wish.
Yeah. Sitting on the
I wish they would
sequined
dissolve
couch.
our secret cell so I could just murder all of you for having seen my face.
Hey guys, have you thought maybe we're being double crossed here? Have you guys thought about that?
By road?
Yeah, by
I mean, Mauve.
yeah, Mom.
I mean, I thought about it a couple times, but like, she's actually smart, so she wouldn't. So,
Oh, I see where you're going with that.
I mean, would you?
Double cross you? No, probably not.
See,
Also,
you're smart too, man.
Who would believe Mauve that
Wow.
there's a secret group out there trying to kill Jace Beleren?
Oh, that's true.
Like Tack like smacks.
I mean,
Torgar's up, like,
Peacock.
Oh yeah. We got a lot of stuff to manage here, guys.
Yeah. Well, like, and this is the thing too, is that you have, for the time being at least, the plausible deniability in that your conspiracy exists to deal with a problem that most people don't even really recognize exists. Like, people know who Jace Beleren is because they've seen like statues of him in the Guild Pact Plaza, but also like the planeswalkers are like aliens in this. Like, if you're like, there are other planes and there are powerful wizards who can travel between them, people are going to be like, you are bananas, Cool. Tell me about how the end is nigh again.
Yeah, we're trying to kill Green Lantern. I see what's going
Yeah,
on.
right. Like I was kidnapped by aliens, and now I'm trying to kill them. And the president is an alien. Like, yeah, it's a whole thing. So you at least have that going for you. But if the right people found out, then you could be in some severe danger.
The right people.
Or the wrong people, both. The people who believe you and also don't want you to do what you need to do. But yeah, it's been a while. Like Road.
Been like forever.
Yeah, Road has been like maybe captured or something.
Winnegar's racked up like hours on this tab. Anyway.
Oh no!
Wait, do we have to pay? Do we have to pay for this too? In our own hideout?
I don't know. The business requires upkeep, so
Part of the cover, man.
Okay.
Sorry. I got so excited. So yeah, does Moth come to the
I mean, yes.
eventually, like if you're, I wanted to give you an opportunity to do something, but if your response to Codename Mauve doesn't show up is just wait 3 hours, then yes,
Yeah.
she
Well,
shows
Torgo
up
takes
and
a
she
nap,
looks great.
Yeah. The rest of us.
when she shows up, Tack is like half asleep, surrounded by maybe 24 little dessert cups and
Oh,
trays
yeah.
from the maids coming in. It's just like half-eaten parfaits.
Yeah, so much flan.
Pushed-
Just
like they fell asleep in a plate full of cake.
Yeah, so eventually Tack, I guess, so that's your response really, is that when Road doesn't show up, Tack eventually submits themselves to a sugar coma. And Torgor and Winnegar, what do? Do you just like hang out nervously?
Yeah, I want to get to know Torgor better. So where did you grow up?
Well, Torgor was always raised in the Rakdos circus.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Now, were you a performer or like a hand or like what did you do?
Torgor dreams of performing. But, people see Torgor and they see his size and think of him as a monster who can train monsters. So I've been looking after all the creatures there.
Oh, see, that's good. I mean, I saw a little glint in your eye when you mentioned performing. What would you perform? Like, what type of performance art would you do?
Well, clearly, Blueberry, you don't know anything of actual music, and Torgor pulls out his lute and like, I'm gonna roll for performance to see how well this goes.
Yeah. Now we were talking about this before. So this is a it'll be a skill check using the tool that you're using. So your instrument rather than perform.
Got it. Let's see.
Also, it's incredibly dangerous and very, very brave of Winnegar to ask a Rakdos, like, please show me your art. That's a great way to get your arms ripped off and then get beaten to death with them. So brave of you.
That's my art.
The sonata has a very climactic ending that we'll see.
Right, exactly. And then as soon as I start playing the guitar solo, I impale you with my horns. But no, what does Torgor do? What do you do?
He starts playing and just to see how it goes.
And you're playing a what instrument is it? A lute?
It's a lute.
A lute. Okay, cool. Okay, let's see how it is. Okay, all right. Let me
roll. It's a middling 10.
Yeah, it's like a neutral performance. Right. It is passable.
Right. Yeah. Which is honestly exactly where his skill level is at right now. And like Torgor is like real proud because he's like,
what song is it? Like, is it a song or is it like Hot Cross Buns or?
Can you play chopsticks on a lute? Is that possible?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's you know what it is? It's the Ravnica Anthem. It's the Anthem of Ravnica done on the.
It had not occurred to me, but there's 100% like a Ravnica, oh Ravnica, like a song that is played on like guild packed holidays and stuff. Yeah,
boy,
awesome.
He takes his own creative license with it, but it's pretty cookie cutter,
Wow, Torgor, that's pretty good.
Make a deception check. It's not pretty good. We all know it. We saw the 10. It's passable. Make a deception check, Winnegar.
Huh?
All right, now Torgor. Now Torgor, make an insight check.
Okay.
You can't just get away with lying to his face like that. Come on.
Well, I mean, he might.
He might actually. He's probably about to.
Let's see. Insight. It's -2.
All right. So
Torgor's
you
gonna quit his job and
Yeah.
do this.
Torgor freaking loves it. Like no one believes in him like this, and
Yeah.
he's just like, Winger,
Good job.
I think you're my new best friend.
And maybe your biggest fan too. I don't know.
Excellent. Okay, cool. So the group of you hang out and we get to hear Torgor's rendition of the Ravnican planar anthem. And then Road, you can make your entrance. Now everybody else still has like fight blood and smoke and like whatever, but you have had the opportunity to clean up a little.
Yes.
So when you come in, please describe your stunning entrance.
It's a quiet and humble one.
Yeah, all right.
But thank you.
Cool.
Just the jumpsuit's back on. The hair is dry completely. Glasses back. Very much just a small nondescript satchel. And then
I buy all my satchels at nondescript satchels.
no
Nondescript, yeah.
branding. And then I do the knock at the door. Whenever the
Guys, that
secret
wasn't
knock
exactly
was.
what I did. So
she tries her best to remember what it was. It's an attempt.
Tack, what do you?
Tack has been like snoring.
That's definitely not it.
The more complicated it becomes, the more you're pretty sure that it's Neil Peart
Is
at the
there-
door.
Neil Peart. Yes.
Is it a strawberry shortcake?
Okay, no, Tack, go back to sleep. And Winnegar opens up the door.
Okay.
Rhodes, you made it.
Yeah, I did. You're welcome.
Wow. I was fearing the worst, but it looks like you had a good time. You're all cleaned up. You're fresh.
I mean,
what is that? Like watermelon cucumber smell? What is
Oh my god, it is. Thank you so much. Thank you for noticing. There were some guards and that happened and there was a whole sewer thing, but now I'm here and that's what matters.
Wow, that's amazing.
Torgor is not to crash on this parade, but what matters is if you have the packet.
Oh yeah, the packet.
I pull it out of my signature nondescript, one of the most expensive satchels.
I was
on
gonna
the
say,
market.
yeah, it's a nondescript satchel and it costs $900.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
Completely indistinguishable from like Tack's rucksack.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just it's
got it.
brown. It's a brown bag, but it costs so much money. Why? Just want quality goods that don't have branding all over them. Yeah. Yeah.
And I pull out the package.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So yeah,
It's a little wet, but
Yeah, it's in like a leather, like a thin leather like folio that's treated with like oil. So it's like waterproof enough. And it didn't get damaged. And it's just like a bundle of parchment inside this envelope.
Yeah, let's open it up on the table.
Yeah, I'm just gonna dig into it because your
Yeah.
mission.
are we allowed to?
I don't
are we
know.
allowed to open
yeah,
it?
like your mission was
Push
to
all
get
the
your mission was
dessert
to get it.
Oh, I thought it was for us to get. I
No,
thought it
no,
was
it's
like-
yeah. I mean, you kind of know what it is, but inside is sensitive information about like suspected, and you don't know why. Rose never told you why the Boros Legion has a list like this or where it came from. Like maybe they confiscated it, maybe they wrote it. You don't know, but it's supposed to contain a list of assets. And if you know what they are, and you get captured by the enemy, agents of the Peacock, you might get tortured, and then you could tell what you know. So it's dangerous. It's dangerous.
Oh, okay.
But you could look at it if you want. Like, Rose isn't around.
So when do we know when the drop off is or where the
So
drop
that
off?
I was gonna ask you. So like, what is your protocol for meeting with the Rose? Like, I don't imagine she comes to your hideout.
No.
But maybe she has somewhere else that you meet her. I don't have any clear idea about that. So
Maybe she has a recording that like is delivered to the karaoke room.
Mm.
Oh my god.
And then we actually
It's dumb. Never mind.
Whenever we have to
Don't-
do drop.
Just like a record, just so you put it on the record player.
Right.
Hello.
Yeah. Great. Hello, agents. Yeah. Perfect.
Then whenever we get like a drop, we have to hide it in the karaoke machine for her to this is also Rose's room. Like that's the signature room.
She is the karaoke room next door. That's
Yeah,
her
put it-
secret
Put
hideout.
it in the lyrics box.
Guys, did we get sponsored by a karaoke machine?
Don't worry about it.
Is there some type of karaoke sponsorship?
That's how I can afford my nondescript bag.
Yeah, that's right. This episode brought to you by Nondescript.
How dare you assume that I would share a sponsorship like that with you, Carlos?
Yeah, I mean, so that's certainly an option. I had imagined that you had like a more direct relationship with Rose than just like dead drops and stuff. That would be a way that
I
you could
assume
pass.
she doesn't like us enough to come to us. I'm sure that like
Look at
we
us.
are a pain in her side and we must go to her.
Yeah, I think probably she knows enough to send you maybe like, I like the coated wax cylinder, like pretending to be a song for your karaoke machine. I like that as a way to transmit messages. So it plays like, it's like a number station. It plays the first, 15 notes of a thing, and then there's like a secret message about where you can meet her. So maybe that's something that she has had delivered to you, where where you can go and meet with her. But she wouldn't have you meet in the same place. You probably move around.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah, maybe the next stop is wherever Dewdrop's going. Maybe like when Dewdrop moves, she's planning on being in that area.
Okay. Yeah, sure. That sounds good. Okay. So I guess then she would have told you, like, given you a place to meet. So does that mean that you tell Dewdrop when to move around?
Oh, maybe
didn't
Like
know
it's
that.
time to go. Like we gotta meet up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Well, so I'm gonna need. Let me grab my notes here. We're gonna need to detail the person who's like the difficult to deal with manager of Host in the Shell. So
Yeah, like this month's difficult manager.
yeah. Well, I mean, I think that there's one central figure, and then it's the rest of the staff that come and go because
that comes and goes. Yeah,
the business is always moving, and the manager is impossible to deal with, and they're pretty sure that there's some kind of weird cult running out of the karaoke rooms. Don't go in there. I saw a goblin covered in blood pass out in there after eating 40 cakes. So like, yeah,
So many cakes.
so many cakes.
And that's terrible.
So yeah, so let's talk about the manager. So who is the person? This is somebody who, and their code name is the manager. That's their cool.
They're really the assistant manager.
Yeah, that's their cool conspiracy code name. And we know about them that they are also a loyal member of the Compact. But they're also a business person. What do we want to? What species do we think this person is? What gender? How do we want to detail about them?
I thought we decided they were a really cute ogre.
Yeah. Do we want to make this the ogre? Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, a very smoochable ogre.
Let me get my ogre name generator.
I'm
Let's
so
see here.
fucking pumped.
I know that there are. I don't want to cannon break by accident here. I know that there are cyclopses in Ravnica, but I'm not sure if they're like straight like regular ogres. Let me look. I think there are.
Well, also someone posted in chat because it's Selesnya, maybe a centaur.
Centaur are good too.
A smoochable centaur.
I think let's stick with ogres for this for now, and then yes, there's definitely a centaur that works here. Yes, okay, good. Yeah, there are definitely Boros, Izzet, Gruul, and Rakdos all have ogres. Okay, cool. All right, so a loyal member of the Compact. Yeah, what guild does this ogre belong to? Selesnya, I guess, because this is supposed to be a Selesnyan front business. Okay, a Selesnyan ogre. That's actually kind of perfect because it's like kind of like with Torgor, except Torgor is actually a Rakdos. There's this thing where they're born into being a specific thing, and then they're like, no, I have found inner peace through the Selesnyan. Like I run a business now where I give inner peace to others. Perfect, got it. Okay, a Selesnyan. And let's see, ogre. This is the best part. Ogre name generator. Let's figure out a good name for this person.
Ogre name generator.
Let's see. Okay, I found one that's also a word that I like. This ogre's name is Dregs.
Drag.
Yeah.
Not very
Dregs.
cute.
Dregs the ogre. Okay, all right. And I'll note very cute.
Kind of want this this ogre to be like super buff and look like I don't know anything about like the Japanese video games where there's like a bear and stuff, but there's like a really buff girl named Sakura, and she's wearing like a schoolgirl outfit, and I love her.
Yeah, I think that Dregs, that the manager, like, you know, wears the outfit of the Selesnian like pale green and white, lots of lace, like a maid outfit.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah, like a not gothic Lolita, but like elvish Lolita, basically.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a beautiful Victorian maid.
Yeah,
See
like a flower, like a beautiful pale white flower.
She looks like Arwen.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Or they.
That's
they
the
look
aesthetic.
like Dregs looks-
Yeah, I think Dregs is a man ogre.
yeah.
And
buff?
yeah, he's super buff. Yeah, he's a big
Hell
ogre boy.
yeah.
And so you'll always find him in his office. That's just where he always is. And he's just trying to run this business.
Yes, my big soft boy.
Yeah. And so he's an ogre, so he's like, you know, like a spherical ovoid essentially. He would be probably bald. Has like you know, stubbly face. If you look up like Magic the Gathering ogre or Ravnica ogre, you can kind of get an idea what they look like. Yeah, he's in his office right now. So you have your package and you're ready to go and deliver it. But to do so, you have to give the order to move. So who is it that goes to like talk to him and do that?
I feel like Tack is still passed out. It should be Road.
Yeah, it's definitely
The one who isn't. Oh, were you trying to say that you don't want to go? Because the rest of us are covered in blood.
Yeah, and I can't help but think that the reason Rhodes needed to stop by and change clothes and take a shower is to impress this person when they got to the cafe.
What an
Like
accusation.
yes, he is an ogre, but he also looks like The Rock. So
Yeah, I was thinking he'd be a big CG ogre voiced by Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Yeah.
yes.
Next
All
episode.
right.
Guest announcement.
Is someone going to come with me? He's not fun or easy to deal with.
Oh, we all thought we would give you room to go. We all thought that you would want to, you know, I don't want to be a third wheel on.
Torgor snorts
I
and goes,
can go.
Torgor will be your wingman. It's fine.
That's uber romantic.
It's like cake.
I hate all of you. Let's go.
No, Torgor gets up and he like walks behind. Yeah.
All right. Well, the two of us are heading off.
Okay. Yeah. So you find yourselves before an enormous ogre-sized door with a very well polished brass plate that says on it, "The Manager." So you
Rose doesn't know how to knock on doors. She just gets overwhelmed every time. Just like,
how do I
Also, Nicole's just slap the door.
yeah, just bang your head on it a couple of times. So yeah, you knock on the door and there's a pause and you hear a chair squeak across the floor, and then you hear heavy footsteps, and then the sound of the door latch opening, and the door swings open, and inside you see Dregs obviously taking up most of the door frame. They're wearing a particularly like nice outfit today, with lots of like frills and kind of jade colored accessories. and they like loom over you. Torgor, they're like probably about a little high, a little taller than you, because technically an ogre's like 4 squares, so they're like he's big, probably about the same height as you, but quite a bit bigger. And
Torgor's tall, but he's small for a minotaur, so that makes sense.
Yeah. And and he like looks at you, at the two of you, and he says, "Come in." And he turns around, kind of like lumbers back over to his desk. And the desk and the rest of the office looks like it was just kind of like grown naturally out of like pale birch. Like it looks like the inside of a Muji. There's probably like a vapor device, like kind of gently wafting lavender scented air into the room. On the desk, you see that you've come in during Dreg's lunch time. There is a folded, like a broadsheet, like a newspaper, on his desk, and there's a little tiny teacup and a little teapot and a half-eaten like sandwich with the crusts cut off. Delicate little sandwich on the plate. And he walks over and he sits down in the chair, which is like the only ogre-sized furniture. Everything else is like much smaller. And he sits down and he gestures for you to like sit down, like have a seat.
Rode tries to like smoothly shut the door, but it's a very heavy door. It does not go very well.
Yeah. Okay.
And then he steps in a little bit further along, and it's an okay office.
He looks at you and he says, "Did you come here to pass judgment on my office?"
Oh no, it's a lovely office. It really does reflect you quite well.
I know. And he nods. Like, what?
We're just here because we know that another movement needs to be made.
What? Already?
I know.
We've only been here for 2 weeks. Things were starting to pick up. We're actually starting to make some money.
I know, but this keeps you elusive and hard to get to.
Yeah, elusive, like my bank account.
Oh, by the way, Mandible told me to tell you that Blueberry's taking care of the tab this month. So
I'll believe that when I see it.
all right. Yeah, but words from the boss man woman.
Rose is a lady also, yes.
I just gotta move, gotta go.
Oh my god, you are so awkward flirting.
She's very, very bad at it.
It's making me feel uncomfortable right now. gotta get going with
gotta do the thing.
Personally, I love it, but yeah.
All right.
I'm like, yes.
Make a persuade check. Make a persuasion check.
Oh god. With the disadvantage. Okay. Persuasion. Here we go.
I don't think good. You don't even need just the 6 is sufficient. All right. So he shakes his head and he's like, No, we can't. Not this time. Not now. If you got somewhere to go, you can walk there like everybody else.
Okay. Torgor, realizing that this is gonna be difficult, tries to intimidate him.
An ogre.
Who's taller than him? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're just gonna walk. What do? You walk over.
I walk over, puff out my chest a little bit, like kind of make himself seem taller than he is. It helps that Dregs is sitting down. So this is like and I was just like, should I roll first or should I make my
You tell me what you're doing and then we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Look. Rakdos has all sorts of creatures running around, and I can tell you one thing. Torgor knows that you don't control them, you work with them. And I can feel it. Dewdrop's getting ready to move. I can sense it in her joints. And if you don't listen to her, you're going to have more issues than stable income. Dewdrop will eat you.
So you're threatening to feed the manager to...
No. Dewdrop will eat the manager.
Sure.
I think that's what tends to happen with the managers around. That's why.
Oh,
there's
so you're like this. Okay, so all he's missing. All right, so the threat is like do the thing, and then okay. All right. Let's have you make that intimidation check. Nice. Wow. Okay. All right. So he scowls and he says, "All right. You don't have to get rude. It's just
We're just worried about you.
yeah. Stow it, tentacles." He gets up and like pushes away from his desk and he says, "I'll go kick everybody out." And he reaches down and he picks up the cigar he was halfway through smoking, he jams it in his mouth, and in all of his ivory and jade tool, he walks out into the main room to tell everybody like, "Sorry, we're closed."
After he walks out, I take his lunch and I throw it in the trash can.
I just throw a sandwich in the trash. All right.
Throw away his adorable bento.
Yeah, that's right.
Keep the
Road.
box.
The stomach is the way to an ogre's heart. Torgor says so matter of factly, like 100% confident.
It is known.
Thank you. Thank you for that piece of information.
All right. So yeah, he goes to kick everybody out, which means that the group of you need to go and like strap in because it's a bumpy ride when this happens.
Winnegar is in his seat that he straps in to, and it's got like all different types of like straps around. He's like super safe and careful whenever they travel, and then he puts on like his little helmet.
Perfect. Yeah. And I mean, I imagine this room is just it's the karaoke room. So there are like hidden seat belts in the benches that you can like pull out. And like, you've got your special one you've adapted with all these like extra crash test dummy operators there. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Torgor sits on one of the couches that's actually in between two seats because he has to use two of them to like extend over across.
Oh, cool.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Yeah. So you all buckle in and we get the external shot of, and this is our first kind of like wide, expensive, like helicopter shot of Ravnica. So, you know, in all directions, you'd be able to see the spires and buildings and temples, the banks and halls of the city, save for the fact that it's almost always foggy and usually raining in various places in the city. So it's quite a gloomy environment. But there's city in all directions, and we see at first what looks like a misshapen hill with a little kind of hut stuck on top of it. There is a brief kind of rumbling. We see some people scatter off the surface that were just kind of like standing around. The lineup to get in breaks up and people like run off. And as we pull back, we can see Dewdrop slowly lifting itself up off of the floor of Ravnica, leaving like a big empty sort of crushed area of rubble and debris. And I think probably Dewdrop has like a group of like Golgari that follow you around for this exact instance, so they can go in and like clean up the trash and like clear out the area. And probably sometimes they get in fights with like Gruul clans who are like, no, this is a rubble belt now. You have to leave it alone. Like this creature is sacred and it's created this wild space. And so like there's conflict in your wake as you go. And I think that we see sitting on a little like head, like a little hat that's been put on this creature, a hat in the shape of a chair. We can see them in their puffy dress, Dregs, the manager, holding like a fishing line out.
Oh my God.
And on the end of the line there's a little cake, and it's hanging out in midair in front of Dewdrop, who is like slowly like trying to get it and like crawling along. And as the manager moves the cake, Dewdrop turns to follow, and slowly you make your way through the streets of Ravnica towards your new location. So when you arrive, you find that the that you've been moved to these new coordinates that were given to you by Rose, and it is I think this part of town is on the edge of a kind of like a low income, like a debtor's housing for the syndicate, for the Orzhov syndicate. So it's a place where if you can't afford to pay the Orzhov back, but you're not at the point where they've written you off and they've come to reclaim your ghost, they put you up in these tenements and they make you work for them. Often like counting other people's money or like polishing bank floors or keeping the lower levels clear of rats, that kind of thing. And so it's in this tenement area where you find space for Dewdrop to settle back in. I think there's a dilapidated like former park. And the creature just kind of like lumbers in and settles down on top of this park, hopefully not crushing anybody. And and then inside the maids begin preparation for opening for business again, which means opening all of the cabinets, taking out all the breakables again, putting them back out on the table, like getting set up, redrawing the menu, and what have you. And so you are now relocated somewhere near where Rose is set to meet you, and you know where to find her.
Cool. Winnegar starts like unbuckling himself. Oh God, guys, moving at that speed is insane. It's like taking off all his stuff, pops off his helmet, puts it on.
You know how a toddler can like sleep through anything?
Yeah.
In any position, like the most ridiculous twisted pretzel on a couch. 100% tack.
Yeah.
Didn't even need to be strapped in.
I was gonna say, I imagine that when Tack is asleep, they're mostly like made out of rubber, like. Like, you know, you're just, someone can just put you up in the luggage compartment and you can rattle around and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just like a pile of pudding inside of skin.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah. The Simic actually have those. So you've arrived. You have a time and a location, and I think there's still a few hours before you need to go and meet with the Rose. So if there's anything that you want to do, if you want to scope out the neighborhood or do anything like that, you're welcome to do so.
Hey guys, we have some time to kill. I think we should check out our new surroundings while we're here. See what's around this park.
You know what? I'd love to not be in this cafe right now. So that sounds like a really great idea.
Torgor could use a stretch of his legs. Let's go.
Are we just gonna leave the? Are we just gonna leave
The murder baby?
here?
The Tack is just like asleep upside down on a couch.
Winnegar goes over to Tack. He's like,
Hey, Tack, are you?
it tries very nicely to like wake Tack up.
You're waking up very slowly, and it's very peaceful.
Midway
Torgor
through
underscores it with like some light lute strumming.
midway through Winnegar's sentence, like the enormous yellow eyes have opened and they're just like staring straight into your eyes.
We're gonna go check out the neighborhood. Did you want to come with?
Yeah, man, I'm hungry.
As rappers just
I
fall
was
off.
saying you're surrounded by food garbage.
Cake is like smashed into their face. They're like halfway under a couch cushion.
Nice.
Awesome. Let's go.
All right. So you leave the whimsical interior of Host on the Shell, and you step out into a.
Do we take the package? Are we taking the? Is it going back?
I assume you're not going to just leave it like tucked
Yeah,
under the couch
Okay,
cushions.
we're taking with us. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. So like Road, until you tell me you are doing something with it, I assume it's just on your person.
In my nondescript bag.
Yeah,
Thank
in
you.
your nondescript bag. So yeah, you step out into a like Oliver Twistian like nightmare. It's like the whole neighborhood is smoggy. There's like a factory somewhere nearby that is just like churning out out smoke and pollution into this neighborhood. The buildings are all jammed together with tiny narrow alleys, and at some points, like the buildings are just leaning on each other in a big sort of pile. The brick here is mildewy and kind of rotting. The people shuffle from place to place in shifts. Right? Nobody is here just kind of casually hanging around. They're either going to work or they're coming home to one of these these awful buildings. You don't see any like beggars anywhere. Like the streets themselves are pretty clear of refuse. But yeah, a procession, and maybe you're arriving. There's a sound like of a steam whistle from one of these factories nearby, and you can see a group of gray clad. Mostly human, but you see a few like Vaishino, maybe some goblins, and they're all wearing this sort of like early 1900s proletarian gray like overalls, and they're kind of trudging back from a shift at one of the these like Orzhov owned facilities. And so how your business is going to make any money in this neighborhood, I couldn't tell you. But
they're not spending their extra cash here.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that you've arrived. You're the expensive business in the poor neighborhood. So Operation Gentrification has begun. You're doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, the rent is super cheap. It's fine.
It's perfect.
Tack has at least attempted to get through the lobby with just like one plate and all the leftover desserts on it. It's just like eating it.
Okay. Yeah. So you're standing there with a big plate full of
It's like,
flan
yeah.
and cupcakes and stuff.
Wow, this is the saddest thing I've seen in a while.
Yeah, it's pretty depressing.
Why
over
did we
here.
leave the cafe?
I mean, just to check it out, I guess. But like now, I kind of want to
Yeah, this
call
is
my
not-
dad or something.
So what's
Are we even allowed to be here? Is this like?
I go wherever I want.
Yeah, I mean, there's no like everybody that lives here is living here because they don't have a choice because they've been indentured into doing so. This is what the Orzhov Syndicate does to people who can't pay them back. But this is a mercy, right? Like the Orzhov, if you owe them money, they can just be like, cool, well, we're just going to take your soul and it's going to serve us forever now because that's what was in the contract. So this is like these tenements have names like House of Mercy or like the Gentle Arms or whatever, like this is considered by the syndicate, this is considered to be like a fairly like decent way to treat people.
Cool.
But yeah, you can come and go as you please, right? Like you're free citizens.
Nice. So you said that there was without this like cafe is now the rich restaurant in the neighborhood.
Yeah, like none of these like trudging commoners seem to even have noticed that this enormous like creature has landed. Like they maybe when they first arrived there was like a glance up, but then just back down to their feet and like trudging home.
So in this sad landscape, what other businesses are there?
There are none. There are no businesses.
Wow.
There would be like if you're gonna walk around the neighborhood a little bit, I think you do find yourself outside of like essentially a soup kitchen. There would be a line of people holding like battered bowls. But this isn't a mission of charity type soup kitchen. This is the like come and get your workers' rations. So you see a long line of
the soup kitchen line, and Tech is just holding.
yeah.
it.
Tack has a pile of delicious
Sure
sugar.
is eating it with their hands too,
Sugar.
just like man, look at these
Jam it.
suckers.
Yeah. Right, like I'm so full, but I can't stop eating, and just jamming.
It's
But,
like,
like-
I don't know what it is about cake. I just like eat and eat and eat, and you're like you're never full because there's no nutritional value, but it tastes so good.
And there's this long line of people, and they're all dressed in the same kind of like ratty uniforms of various ages, holding their like battered like pewter bowls, waiting to get soup and like a chunk of bread. And up at the front by the door, there's a giant. He's like 12 or 13 feet tall, wearing brass armor with a single like lens in the front of their helmet, and it's holding. I think it's got like probably a halberd. and is just kind of like looking back and forth, making sure that everybody is in order. And behind it, over the door into the kitchen proper, is the words written over the door, leniency is weakness.
Oh.
And the and the syndicate guard is just standing, making sure nobody tries to like cut in line or cause trouble.
Guys, this place is too freaking depressing for me.
How's some karaoke sound right now?
It sounds
Yeah.
pretty good.
It
Sing
sounds
them a
really
song.
nice.
But wait, with no backing track? Are you kidding me?
No, I mean, let's go.
Tack like looks at Torgor.
Do we know what they do in these warehouses that so many people work in?
Like menial labor, like the Orzhov, they're a banking guild, right? And so they deal in other people's debts. So probably the people working in their factories don't work for them. They're probably stamping, like, is it machine parts or making weapons for the other guilds? It's cheap labor because somebody was dumb enough to get in bad with the Orzhov, and then the Orzhov sold their labor to another guild at a markup.
Gotcha. This is really sad, Adam.
Listen, you guys make up the maid cafe with the karaoke, and then I get to do
their choice, man.
and then I get to do my thing. All right, so don't fucking step on my shit. This is it. It's ash rains from above. All right, it's a game of contrast.
A public execution
Yes.
happens in square.
That's right.
a factory crematorium because I want to tour that one.
Right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
you know, I think it's so sad for me because it's just like you didn't describe like a hell landscape. You described a hell landscape very close to the economics that we see in neighborhoods today.
Right,
Like
exactly.
the
Like,
cash places and currency exchanges.
that's the Orzhov Syndicate.
Yeah.
That's their jam. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, Tack. Like, they wouldn't cremate bodies because the whole, like, the Golgari, you turn them into like fertilizer, turn them into food. So what they would do is they would sell bodies to the Golgari, or like
Does the soup kitchen smell like Mama's cooking?
the soup kitchen. I mean, like,
Oh, is it a Golgari soup kitchen?
It smells like Soylent.
yeah, it just smells like flavorless gray paste. Like if you left a newspaper in a bowl of warm water for like 6 hours. Yeah, it keeps them
Got
alive.
that plaster of Paris consistency. I love it.
Probably what happens is like one of these warehouses might be where they would prepare bodies to be transferred to the Golgari. So they would be like stripping off their clothes, taking out any gold teeth, like looking for, and then putting the body into a cart so that a Golgari could come and take them down to the sewer to like turn them into.
This is the quality content
Fertilizer.
that I'm here for. Where's the body stripping facility?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, you can see at the end of the road. I think that this neighborhood is built. It is a it's a laborhood, and it's built around.
Oh.
It's built around the factory, and let's say that's what it's for. And so it's in the middle. There's like several pie slice shaped building blocks, and then in the center of this block is that factory.
I love it.
Yeah. And then somewhere around here, if you want to go and scope it out early, you can. But somewhere around here is the address of the coordinates that the Rose gave you.
That would definitely be what Rhode's doing for sure.
I imagine that like Tack starts walking towards the stripping facility and everybody has to like toddler grab their hand and like turn
No,
them
come
back
on.
around.
Yeah, we got to turn back around, Tack. We can't go. I mean, no one wants to go in there. The horrors that are going on inside that room right now.
And you don't understand. People have such big teeth. Do you see, like, if an ogre has a gold tooth, it's huge.
Okay, let's
Torgor feels like these people need some entertainment.
Fine.
Torgor?
What you want to do, like we always do, we'll
We
do
will not
work
be-
first.
We will not
No,
be
no, no,
liberating
no.
anyone today.
Torgor is like, hey, there's time. We don't need to meet Rose for a little bit. Let's hang out.
We will make
Torgor,
this
I don't.
plane a better place.
Torgor realizes these people haven't heard music in probably a decade. So this is the perfect audience.
Torgor,
Torgor,
okay. Are you going to perform? Okay, you're taking out your loot right now. Are you going to perform right now?
hello, Orzhov Laborhood. We're here to remind you, even in your darkest times, you can be cheery. and he starts playing some like real smooth Willie Nelson covers
my
on his
gosh.
acoustic loop.
Yes.
No, yeah. Will in this universe, Willie Nelson is a centaur, and his name is Philly Nelson.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
I hate it.
So
I love it.
when you start to talk,
Uh-huh.
a few things happen. First, at the sound of a noise that isn't like the work bell or like rain hitting the pavement or the shuffling of slowly decomposing leather shoes on cobbles, when they hear a noise, the people in the line all kind of start looking nervously at you, like oh dear, like illicit sounds.
So,
Illicit. Wait.
how much does
I'm
this
like at
fight
least
my
30 feet
popular
away.
demand, which is my background entertainer?
yeah.
I
So
like-
tell me about that.
Sure. Whenever you go to a new place, I can receive free lodging, blah blah blah, as long as I perform each night. But in addition, my performances make me something of a local figure. And strangers
I
start to
promise
recognize-
you that after you finish this scene, the legend of Torgor will spread amongst these people in one way or another.
Give them something to dream about, you know?
Yes, or have nightmares. So they start looking at you nervously, like, oh dear, something bad is going to happen, like contraband noises. And the giant, the big brass giant, turns, and the single there's like a hissing sound, like of like thin metal plates sliding against you, like an aperture, an iris, and a spotlight. And Torgor, you probably think this is great. Like he's provided big spotlight glows from the front of this thing's helmet, and focuses on you. This is what the dude looks like, except that he's like 12 feet tall. And so the front of his helmet, that lens illuminates and like casts a beam of light down at you. And you're getting some looks from the crowd, like, oh please, like don't just stop, please. But you make your performance roll.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
see. And for this, let's roll performance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make it happen.
Let's see if it's a 20, please, for the love of God. I'd love it so much.
Oh no!
Yes.
The worst
Even
possible
better.
result.
Even better.
So is it just that you're like really bad, or
So Torgor is very bad. He did not warm up at all. So his like vocal cords that he's trying to sing on board is like totally off key. But worst thing comes to worst, he doesn't understand that he's not doing a good job. So he just keeps going harder and harder into his thing because he sees this animated reaction from the people, like they haven't heard music in probably at least one life cycle. So he just like leans into it harder and harder and just like starts going. He like goes up to one of the people who like tries to get him to stop. He's like, yeah, and he like punches him really hard in the face. He's like leaning into the Rakdos performance of it all now.
you're trying to like get a pit going?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Why is he punching us? So what's everybody else doing? Like it's clear to you that the giant is about to step in and do or say something, but while this ludicrous performance is going on, Tack, Road, and Winnegar, what are you gonna do?
I've never seen anyone thrash to their own folk cover of a Willie Nelson song.
Sure.
Tack.
Ooh, sorry. I hit. Sorry. Go on.
I'm gonna hide.
Yeah, good call. Okay, yeah, make a stealth check.
It's gonna go poorly because I'm not being a good friend. Oh,
oh,
Oh, that went well. I want to send a message to Torgor.
Okay, yeah, with magic.
Oh, it's happening. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Tack's just boop boop boop.
Yep. Tack evaporates, disappears. Yep.
Just like a of their plate of cake just hitting the ground.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, we turn and the cake and the plate are just hanging there, and then they do the cartoon thing where they realize that you're not holding them anymore and they fall on the ground. Okay. Some urchins like scramble for the cakes.
Yeah. They think of it as like the day there was cake.
Yeah, right. That time that the cowman punched my mom, but then I got a cake.
Yeah. I want to send a message to Torgor, just like
hey buddy, don't give it away for free. You could be performing at the host in the show.
Okay, so you're trying to convince Torgor to stop, and
Yeah.
Road, what are you doing in the moment before the giant intervenes?
I'm just pulling myself and Winnegar away. I'm
Yeah,
moving
like
us.
just let him handle it. Okay,
Yeah,
all
it's
right.
like-
Okay, so there's some kids that like scramble to go get tax like cakes and stuff, and then the giant turns and looks at them, and they just freeze and like back away and get back in line. And then it turns towards you, Torgor, and says in a sort of raspy voice, "This noise is unauthorized. Stop."
Somehow this cuts through Torgor's performance, and he says, "Sorry, Torgor was performing there. He couldn't hear you. Did you say this noise?"
Oh God, Torgor.
And the giant says, "Unauthorized broadcast. Cease."
Everyone wants Torgor to smash, but Torgor just wants to play his lute. You know, if you want Torgor to smash, Torgor will smash. And he like gets his maul ready behind, like takes it out and like lays. He thinks about smashing this lute. He really does. But he's like, it's his only one, so he's like, he like puts it behind his back. We'll just settle for giant.
Okay.
I'm aggressively hiding.
Yeah, Tack.
I'm aggressively pushing Winnegar away. At
Yeah,
this point.
the three of you can
Torgor!
see Torgor facing down a foe like far superior.
I want to keep whispering, Torgor, you need to stop right now. Hey, follow us. We got to go meet Rose. Whatever you got to do, just put that thing away and just like run, please. Can I roll persuasion?
No. Torgor's like, for you, best friend.
Anything for my number one fan.
Everyone for my number one.
Do it
fan.
for you, Stan.
He like settles it back, like puts the thing down, and he like makes eye contact. He's like, in his heart, he's like, this monster got lucky today.
Yeah, I like the idea that like Torgor even sees Winnegar as like Stan, like like
Yeah,
it's his groupie.
Yeah.
it's mine.
I love it because, like, in the future, Torgor's gonna be like the Hulk, and it's gonna be like a Hulk and Black Widow scenario, but it's gonna be like Winnegar like entering the room and like unzipping his tunic, and there's like another tunic with like Torgor performing on it. And he's like, oh, my biggest fan, yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Torgor made you a shirt, Winnegar.
Nice. Okay, so you're gonna just be like, Torgor, come on, let's go. Let's just get out of
Yeah,
here.
let's go. Come on.
Okay. Where are you going?
I want to go where we're supposed to meet Rose and check out the place first.
Mm-hmm.
Like scope out the place, do some rounds around the block, try to be inconspicuous,
Okay.
and like get the lay of the land in case like it could be a setup or
Sure.
Yeah, I'd
Winnegar's
also like to make sure that we're not being. They've got to have their eyes on us now, don't they? But I'd like to make sure that they're not aggressive eyes.
Yeah, Road. Make a perception check.
Mhm. Average at best.
Good. You got a 10. That is perceptive. Let me see. Let me see. I'll make a roll to see if you spot anything. Probably you won't though. Yeah, you don't see anything. I mean, there's just gloom and smog. It started to rain, and the rain is like a little oily. Yeah, and around here, the only movement is just like very orderly lines of people moving slowly, one kind of step at a time. Yeah, it doesn't look like you're being followed, or else you're being followed by somebody who is better at sneaking than you are at seeing. You can't see Tack anywhere. Yep.
Just hear this goblin giggling on the
Sure.
wind.
Tack is around, just not visible to you.
Are we close to where we're meeting Rose?
Yeah, I think you
Are
can
we-
just walk over there.
Yeah. So I want to start doing an investigation. Just like I don't want to like go into the place or anything like that. Just make it look like I'm passing by it, and just looking around to see like vantage points, or if someone wanted to set up a trap for us or
Yeah.
get the drop on us.
It's a little hard for the four of you to be inconspicuous
Conspicuous, yeah.
around here because it's like this is some Pleasantville shit where like everything is monochrome except for you, which are all quite brightly colored. Which is a cool way to make characters stand out. But yeah, but you can walk around. Like this neighborhood doesn't see a lot of traffic outside of the area, but nobody seems to notice you or no one's paying attention. And yeah, you walk by the area, the neighborhood. You go to the coordinates, and the place where you're meant to meet the Rose is it's a bit of an aberration, right? So there are all these very orderly kind of rectangular buildings of the same height with the same amount of rooms in them. But on this block, two of them kind of jammed in between two of these big buildings is a very narrow looking shop. It has no front window. It just has a door because there's not enough room for a front window. And hanging over the door, there's a wooden sign, no words on it, but there is a picture of an open book on the front of this sign.
Oh, okay. What does the sign say? Does it say?
It doesn't have any words. It's just a picture of a book.
Gotcha.
Picture book.
Cool. Yeah, Winnegar takes note and like keeps on walking by, like trying, like this obviously sticks out to him, and like, this is okay, and just passes by.
Okay, yeah, just kind of like walk around the area. Yeah, you were saying you wanted to kind of like reconnoiter. Do you want to make an investigation check?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. So what, I mean, you can ask me some questions if you have, and I'll keep your 9 in mind.
Yeah. So he would be looking at the buildings across the street. You said there's like no one really on the streets, I guess. So
yeah, there are like commoners like trudging about, but there isn't anyone kind of like hanging out. There's nobody like sitting on their stoop, like having a cigarette. There's just people like walking in, and everything around here seems to operate on shift. So probably within a little while of that sound of that steam whistle going off, the streets would be empty because everybody would be home.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess he's just taking note of like trying to the travel patterns, like vantage points, stuff like that.
Yep. Okay.
I assume I'm there with him doing the same thing as well.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, you can make an investigation check too if you want that.
Everybody look out, that -1 to investigation.
Yeah, okay. You're not doing much better.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm just a warm body at this point.
I mean, even that's debatable because you're.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I'm part jellyfish. I have no idea if it's warm or not.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What do you guys want to just like hang out here and get? You guys want to go inside?
I would like.
Where did you come from?
Oh my god! You cannot just appear like that.
Hey, I've been here the whole time. Also, I don't know where my cake is, but that's fine because I got this weird slop.
Oh, slap. Okay.
You want the bread? It's kind of rocky.
Yeah, it's really hard. I think it is a rock.
I'd like to. Can I use my thieves' cant at all to see if there's any like sign she may have left us for where she's going?
Yeah. I mean, you already know that you're early, and that this is the place. So
Awesome.
yes, you don't have to worry about getting it wrong. Like, you're definitely in the right place. Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna go inside.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow Tack inside.
Yeah, follow me.
Yeah, I'm following you.
I've never led you into certain death before.
All right. So you come in, and as I said, like it's basically it's like a glorified hallway with a roof over it, in the sense that you can't stand shoulder to shoulder. Like it's a 5-foot space. So Tack, you come in, and then Winnegar, you are behind them, and you can see over their head. There's about 10 feet worth of space between you and a desk. And then there's a door behind that desk. And sitting at the desk, there is there's an old man. He looks like he's probably in his like 70s. He's old and pale and wrinkly. Got like liver spots on his head. He's wearing a clerk's outfit. So he's got his sleeves rolled up so he doesn't get ink on them, and he's got a high collar. And in front of him, there is a book open on the desk, and he's making notes or like writing something in it. And when you walk in, there's a faint kind of metallic clinking sound as the bell over the door is like rattled. And he looks up, and he's got a pair of like quite scratched glasses. And he looks up, and he doesn't see you, Tack, because you're like desk height. It just kind of gives you a quizzical look, like, you're not my usual customer. It's like, something I can help you with.
Greetings and salutations, sir. I was in the neighborhood and wanted to check out your shop. It looked very interesting from the outside.
Just
I nod.
squints at you through kind of roomy eyes, and he says, just wandering through this neighborhood.
Getting the lay of the land, as it were, taking in some of the sights. I had a vacation day, so I decided to check out the neighborhood.
He looks at you and he says, is it League? Vidalkin? Don't see a lot of you around here.
Yes. Okay. I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah.
Like, what does someone say? Like, Puerto Rican. We don't see a lot of Puerto Ricans here. Like, I'm just,
Yeah,
I don't
right?
know.
Like,
What do you want me to do?
cool. Good.
Yeah. What do you want me to say to that?
Yeah. You're like, no, that's probably true.
Yeah. Like, listen, old man.
How dare you?
Clint Eastwood.
You'll never see another one like me again. You keep this attitude up.
Yeah.
But this is like, is it a bookstore? Is it,
You can't, I don't know. You can't see any
I don't really know.
merchandise. Yeah. It's
Great.
just like
I'm
a
gonna-
dude sitting at a little desk with a
Yeah.
door behind him.
I'm gonna go up to the desk then, and
So
like,
Tack is between you and the desk, and,
Oh,
and so
okay.
like you're standing like 5 feet away from him having this conversation. He hasn't noticed Tack yet because Tack hasn't said anything.
I'm gonna. I think I'd like to go around the desk.
There's actually no way to go around the desk.
What? It's
'Cause
just
the-
like the whole. It's like a bank.
Yeah, so like, well, it's
Cool.
weird, right? So like the building on either side is like that, and then there's the alley, and then this dude's little shop is like, let's find a good color for the shop. Is like jammed in the alley, and the desk is at the back, and he's just sitting in this like chair, and so you go in, and there's nowhere else to go.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Can I climb up on the desk?
Yeah. If you want to, you could try.
That's neat. I'm gonna go ahead and try and do that and be like, "Hey, give me a boost."
So when he hears that, he hears a voice. He like peers over. He's like, "Oh,
Ah.
I didn't see you there. Hold on." And he like leans under the desk, and we see one of his dry, kind of ink-stained hands grab like a brass, like a knob or a handle or something, and he pulls on it, and there's a clunk, and in under your feet, the floor lifts up. It goes like
Oh, wow.
and like lifts you up to eye level with him.
Fantastic.
And so he sits back up. And he's like, there, better.
Hey, this is like on my friend's bucket list. Could you just like humor him or whatever?
He's
He looks he's like,
dying.
humor.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Guys, am I dying?
He's
This is one of his
absolutely
last
dying.
wishes was to see all the shops on this plane.
So he wanted to visit the Undercity, and he got like this weird like tomb rot down there, and doctor says it's bad. Anyway, could you just like humor him?
Oh, your friend sounds like he's in bad shape, Tack.
Yeah, it's super sad.
So
And
wait,
like Tack just like makes his face at the sky like,
wait, last wish of your friend is to see this place.
absolutely.
What can we say? Is it so weird, huh?
It's
Am I right?
probably the saddest thing I've ever heard.
And he assumes, as I do, that you're talking about Winnegar. So he looks at
We
you.
are.
He looks at you.
We
and he
are
kind of
absolutely talking
yeah.
about
Winnegar
Winnegar.
doesn't realize that, but
This guy
So-
seems like a real
right?
loser,
Yeah.
guys.
so he kind of purses his lips a second. He looks you up and down the way one might look at like a horse they were considering purchasing, and he says, "So you are to die. You want to
Well, I
sell
mean-
me your body?"
Sell you my body?
Hey, he already has a Golgari agent for that, so it's
Golgari will only turn you into goop. I can make use of your body when you don't need it anymore.
Ooh, I don't like that. What does that mean?
And he shrugs. He says, "What do you care? You'll be dead."
That's true. It is a philosophical dilemma.
what
We are
Golgari
philosophers.
make sure that he doesn't get turned into anything weird when he dies. It's very cut and dry what we're gonna do with him when he dies. So
You Golgari, so uncreative.
educate me.
And he's like, I'm not talking to you, Goblin. I'm trying to make a deal with your
Fair.
friend over here. Yeah, and so he's just like, I have all the paperwork already. It's not my first time making this deal. You sell me your body when you're dead, and I'll give you 50 pieces of gold right now, today.
Oh man. Well,
I'm
but I don't
so
know what you're gonna do with my body.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
it
we've
won't be your
actually,
body anymore. You'll be dead.
The
But do we
Simic
have, like,
combat
a-
is actually, we've sort of made a he doesn't remember. It's fine, but that's sort of an us thing.
Oh.
We have plans. There are some dolphins waiting.
Yeah, and he scowls and looks at you, Winnegar, like you've made a dumb move, and he's like, "That's going to be a problem for you, making too many deals. Only one body. I don't want it. I've changed my mind."
Oh no, you gotta. I mean, I'm super strong. I can do lots of stuff now.
No, I don't
He's
want
like
it
giving
now.
me the hard sell, and now
Yeah,
when
maybe,
he wants
maybe
stuff-
he's like, I don't know, because then I might have to deal with like the Simic come looking for your body, or like you already made a deal with the Golgari. Like, you're too complicated. You got drama. I
Yeah.
don't want that.
Well, the way I feel about it, one of us has got to kill him first.
Wait, what? Kill me?
What?
No,
What?
your friend?
Who?
Sir. So do you just hang out in this alley buying bodies?
No. Corpse buying is a hobby.
Oh.
Speculating.
Yeah, I like model trains.
This is Etsy Frontier.
Yeah, and he nods. He's like, I have seen. Very small. Quite cute.
Winnegar likes this guy.
Yeah.
Whitaker's like really thinking about it. Like, I could use 50 gold.
Yeah, maybe I should look into like buying bodies. I don't know, guys.
Yeah, and so when you say that, he's like, anyone else? What about you, big boy? And he looks at Torgor. You want to sell?
Torgor's body will go where Torgor's body goes.
He puts
Free
his hands
body.
up like, all right.
Sounds like free real estate to me. Plenty of space under there.
It's free real estate, Torgor. Yeah, so he says, no, I keep books.
Oh, like you're a bookkeeper for other people, or
And he nods. He says, ledgers, numbers.
yeah.
This is
Those are the
boring.
worst. am I right?
Tack just goes down the stairs. Ugh. Books.
How early are we for this?
Like a while, like an hour at least.
God.
Guys,
I would
books are interesting.
I
The
would leave
bookkeeper-
Winnegar here to make conversation for an hour, but then Winnegar would lose his body.
Yeah, like if you don't stay here and babysit him, yeah, pretty much this dude's
Does
gonna.
he lose his body or does he gain 50 gold pieces?
Oh yeah, that's true too. Guys, what should I do with my body?
New subplot.
This guy's really interesting though. Like bookkeeping is amazing. It's like it explains the entire map of businesses.
Right, and as Winnegar is talking, this guy is just like, I feel so appreciated today. Like this is great. I don't often get strangers come in here and really appreciate me, unlike the rest of the people that I know.
Who do you
What
keep
the-
books for?
And he scowls at you and he says, "Privileged information. My clients are my own." but I'm very good.
Don't doubt it for a second.
Good.
Where do you keep the bodies? How do you get them? How do you?
Oh,
know
that's
who
true too.
died?
Kind of looks at you and he's like,
Just wondering.
hey, I have contact, a friend in the syndicate, high up. He knows people. I give them
Just-
to him.
Just wondering, like, okay, stop me if this is too ridiculous. Do you only buy from like the owner of the body, or is there like a subletting, or
Yeah, like a rent to buy.
or like if somebody just happened to find a body, would you like take it for what, like 2 silver, or?
He's getting the drift, and he shakes his head and he says, no, only for personal use. If you are
Oh.
finding corpses,
Well,
then
I mean, not me, probably her.
okay, good. Just
I
Shuttle
find
that
them all the
blame.
time.
yeah,
She's the one who killed a helpless NPC.
yeah. So he says there are lots of ways one might sell to the syndicate.
Okay. What if can we just take some like papers from you, like to hand out to our friends?
Like a brochure.
And he puts his hands up like, okay, hang on, like this business is a side project for me. I'm not interested in expanding.
And what's your official business?
And he taps the book in front of him, and he says, clients come to me. I make their money make sense.
Oh, that's a good. That should be your tagline for your business.
Yeah.
I make your money make sense.
And he grins, and he's got this like big gold tooth, and he's like,
Oh no.
Oh man, Tax sees it, and Tax like hitting Torgor's arm, like, look at you.
Hey, I know we should have probably like asked you this when we met, but what's your name?
No reason.
he says, I am Rastov.
I
Oh.
noticed there's not a lot going on behind that desk. No, not that I was looking, but do you
Mhm.
like live nearby, or you just
He,
live in the
he
desk?
gestures over his shoulder. He says, I live in back.
Alley man. Right
Mm.
on.
And he's-
Nice.
no, not in alley. There's more house back there.
Oh, more house. Long house.
Very
I-
narrow.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say I really respect your choice not to live under the man's thumb, but no, this is fine too. I'm sure you own it.
God, Tech.
Worse.
And he's like, owning property in this economy? I don't think so.
Oh,
Yeah, no, he nods and he says, I have assets. Why are you so curious, Goblin?
I don't know. There's just not really a lot going on, and if I wasn't talking to you, then I'd have to talk to him, and it didn't go
Yeah. Then they'd have to talk to me.
Sounds like you are all very good friends.
Yeah. Probably like best friends.
Oh, ugh.
I would call us best friends.
Yeah.
I've
We
had
do
both.
everything
Torgor would not use those words. Only for Winnegar.
Only
Yeah.
for-
Oh yeah. Right back at you, buddy.
Torger's making like a flower crown for each of them. Some friendship
So
bracelet.
yeah, so Restov, the chartered professional necromancer, Restov's like, you cannot stand in store if you are not doing business. Please go back out the street.
Oh, okay. It was a pleasure meeting you. I hope we meet again under different circumstances.
Yes, perhaps you will be dead.
Oh my god.
I like to keep, and as they're walking out, Winnegar's just like, I like to keep all my options open, guys.
Yeah.
I don't normally put necromancer hobbyist into the notes, but I want you guys to know I did that for you.
Oh, cool.
Tack is gonna like slowly like back down the alley and be like, am I still in your shop now? Like, where's the
Yeah, I mean, there's no real alley. Like you go, he's put a door and a wall on two ends of the
Oh.
alley, and then put a roof over it, so you
Oh,
can't be in the alley without also being in his shop.
okay. Yeah. I assume they eventually pick up Tack and
Come on, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, time to go.
Yeah.
A little monkey backpack.
So you
So many
you
words.
get back outside.
Mhm.
And it is still as miserable and dystopian as it was before out here.
Mhm.
What do you want to do? You got an hour to kill. Do you want to just like take a nice walk in the greasy rain, or
Yeah, we do what you guys want to do. Let's go steal some teeth now.
Torgor could do
Okay.
another performance in a.
Let's go
another
back to the
square,
cafe,
you know.
and then there will be no teeth, and you can perform.
Winnegar promised.
I did kind of promise Tech that we'd steal teeth.
Why did you?
I didn't think Tech doesn't remember anything.
It's true, but I remember teeth.
That's true. It was Tech used a mnemonic device to remember teeth. They just thought teeth. I want them.
the thing is though, a mnemonic device to an Izzet would likely be like a battery hooked up to an electrode that shocks your brain into remembering things. Like, oh, let me just turn on my mnemonic device.
It's great.
Guys, it was
Are
blue. Blue was the color I was thinking of.
Teeth are like mouth daggers, and they stab food.
Yeah.
That's how I remember.
God, that's a beautiful
Cakes.
sentiment. That should go on a t-shirt.
Cake.
Teeth
Oh,
are like.
Teeth are like mouth daggers. They
daggers.
stab food. God, it's beautiful. Goblin for life.
Put it up in a dentist shop. Perfect. you know.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Your teeth are like mouth daggers. Beautiful. God, it's lovely.
Speaking of food,
Mhm.
I'm hearing cafe. I'm
Did
hearing,
well.
I'm hearing it be suggested, and I think that might be a good idea.
Torgor is like, fine.
Road
But
just
don't
keeps saying
expect-
cake and cafe over, and Tax like, yeah, yeah.
Selesnya fans don't really get down to Torgor's music, but whatever.
Yeah, it's a little aggressive for them.
It's okay, Torgor. You can pick all the music that you want when we go back to the room.
Torgor is like, okay. This is like suddenly in a much chipper
They
attitude.
listen to the same music, so Tax for it.
Nice. Okay, so you head back to the cafe, and when you get there, you see that outside there is there's a carriage. It's just like a wooden carriage, fairly unadorned, like gray paint, like cast iron kind of looking materials on it. There's a little bench on the front, and there's a big black horse that's pulling it, and the horse is just sort of like standing there. And then next to the carriage, you see a human in a long black coat and like a waistcoat and a top hat, and he's talking to the manager, and the manager is got a scowl on his big ogre face as he hands over what looks like a bag of gold to this top hat man.
This is Dregs from earlier.
Yeah, his Dregs. So Dregs is standing out here getting oily rain on his beautiful dress, beautiful maid outfit. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
If I wasn't so mad at him, he'd look pretty hot in the rain. But...
I love you when you're
Yeah,
greasy.
because like the rain
That's a
like
shame.
slowly goes down the skin. It's just like getting syrup on. No.
I hadn't intended my initial description of this character and the scene to be quite so erotic, but okay, yeah, we'll go with it. A single drop of polluted water slides down between his pectoral muscles.
No, we already decided that it was Dregs the Rock Johnson. So
That's right. Yeah. All right.
Do we recognize this top hat figure?
You don't recognize like specifically the person, but everything about the way they're dressed screams Syndicate, right? Screams Orzhov Syndicate.
boy.
So they're probably like a tax collector or whatever, being like, if you're gonna do business in my neighborhood, I need you to pay like this fee and that fee, and please sign this. And
Oh crap. Speaking of tax collectors, is there any chance that like we've ever met this guy when we were maybe possibly pretending to be collectors for the Orzhov Syndicate?
I think probably not. You're in a neighborhood you haven't been to before. You're probably safe for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does for now mean?
You know. Yeah, and I think like Chet has the right of it. Like this is a two-bit leg breaker dressed up in a slightly fancy suit, right?
That is dumb, but I want it.
Yeah. You could fit like your entire head, like the hat could just go over and you cut holes in it and it could be like a hood.
I was thinking I could hide cake in it, but
You could put cake on top of your head and
Way
still
better
pull it all
idea.
the way over
Right.
your head.
that's so much better.
Yeah. So yeah, they're concluding their business, and the big man shakes the ogre's hand. And you're used to seeing Dregs like looming over people, and even though this guy is like a big dude, he's smaller than Dregs. But Dregs is the emotionally smaller of the two in this thing. Like he's come out of this is a bad deal for him. But he takes the gold, and this guy's grinning, and he like shakes his hand. And Dregs is holding a slightly rain-dampened contract or something. And this guy gets back into his carriage, which complains loudly as he settles into it. And then on the seat, you see a shimmering of like a faintly spectral form of the like ghost driver of the carriage. And there's a cracking sound as the horse pulls the carriage away from the front of the front of Dewdrop, which is totally asleep by now. And yeah, it passes you. And I think a bunch of like greasy rainwater in a puddle gets like splashed up towards you.
Can I roll
Yeah, everybody make a dexterity save because
To
it's
get out of
important.
the
Yeah, because it's
way.
important to road, but we might as well all roll to
Yeah,
see.
I kind of hope that I fail. Just
You can just
because
blow it on
I
purpose. You can
haven't-
just stand there.
Yeah,
What?
I haven't taken a bath. in
Damn it!
Oh, rough. All right.
I'm so mad.
Tack and Torgor again with the good dex roll. You
dirty 20 for dirty water.
So you just step back and the water splashes up in front of you, but it nails Winnegar and Road. The two of you just get splashed.
Yeah,
with this.
Winnegar is about to make he's about to make a tax collector joke, but also
Yeah.
like tax
Right.
collector.
Yeah, they're here to
joke.
get you. It's the tax
Yeah.
collector.
Like, hey, it's kind of like and then like the water goes in his mouth at the same time.
Oh, misery water.
It's like pulling it out.
Back lasts for 1,000 years.
Yeah. Yeah, so Road, your nice outfit is now once again, this is the second time today you've been waste watered.
I have an emergency outfit in the karaoke.
Oh my God.
You do. Hell yeah.
And I go inside to go get it.
Just like storm
Yeah.
past Dregs. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to Dregs. Be like,
Hey, buddy, what's going on?
I'm gonna back up Winnegar on that.
Okay. Yeah. Dregs shakes his head and he's just like, this is an Orzhov neighborhood. I had to pay the bills.
oh, bummer.
Torgor's like, protection bills?
Does it matter? They showed up and demanded money.
Torgor, it's a shakedown or takedown situation that we got here.
Well, Torgor would take down and then shake them down.
Okay, Torgor, let's just settle down here. There's no one here to impress right now.
Torgor impresses himself.
He has to impress his best friend.
Oh yeah, and biggest fan,
Number one fan.
number one superstar fan.
Uh-huh.
And Dregs, that sucks. We're gonna go back inside though. Okay.
All right. So yeah, you head inside. Dregs goes with you, and I think that we follow the group of you out of the rain, up to the door of the establishment, and then the camera lingers on the door as it closes, and we cut elsewhere to a scene in which none of you are present, but will be our closing scene for the episode. We're outside of Restov's like ledger shop again. And we can hear, so the camera's fixed on the door. We can hear the sound of horse hooves and a wagon. And we slowly pan around to see another of these like big black horses. But this wagon is much fancier, right? It's actually clean. Instead of like wrought iron and gray wood, it's made out of it's got like ivory paneling, and there's like gold filigree on it. The wheels spin when it stops moving. But yeah, it's like it's a very fancy looking carriage, and there's a driver up on the driver's seat, dressed. She's dressed in finery. She's got like curly red hair, and she's got like a little driver's like cap, and she's like whipping the horse along, and she pulls the carriage up to stop. And we see from under the carriage, we see the little metal stairs descend. and a pair of like blood red high-heeled leather boots step down one step at a time. And then we cut to the interior of the shop, and we see the door open, and we see a woman in a black cloak with a crimson interior step into the room and take her hood back, and we can see she has like very, very dark black skin. Her hair is pulled back in braids, and she has eyes the same color as the inside of her cloak. And we see Restov, who like has his head down, like he's like bowing when she comes in, and we hear her voice from kind of off camera, and she says, "Restov, so good to see you again." And he doesn't look up at her. He's just like, "Yes, my lady, everything is prepared." And she says, "Good, my guests should arrive soon." And he reaches down to that same place where he pulled the lever for tack, but instead he pushes it and turns it in, and the floor drops, and there's a staircase leading down under his desk. Oh. And we cut back to her, and we see her face, and she's taking her cloak off, and she just hands it to like a ghost we didn't see was there. So like a spectral form, like picks it up and like carries it off and hangs it up for her. Underneath, she has a like a black leather corset and a white, like an ivory white, like blouse. She's a rapier on her hip, and one last shot before she descends down into the room underneath the place is that she looks right at Restov, which is for us like looking at the camera, and she smiles, and we can see that she has two very sharp looking fangs. And she descends down into the area below, what? And that's where we fade to credits.
I'm in love.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So there you go. So this is a character you will get to meet shortly. Yeah, so that's it. That's our episode for today. Thanks for coming, everybody. This is and I like Christoph in chat says, looks like this rose has thorns.
Oh,
very nice, very nice.
Love it.
I'm really enjoying like this episode is fun. I wanted to give this episode and like the next couple to like explore the setting a little bit and explore the characters, and I love how we got to have both kind of like. There is a bit of whimsy and sort of silliness that's available. Like Magic as a setting has always had this, where there's like serious, intense stuff like vampires and one-eyed giants and miserable proletarians. But then it's also got a fair amount of like sense of humor and silliness, which is really nice. It's a hard tone to hit, and it's cool getting to kind of play with those a little bit. So thanks for that, everybody. Yeah. We will. I'll let everybody do their shout outs, and we'll say goodbye. So let's start. I think we started with you last time, Carlos. Let's do it again. Carlos, where can people find you on the internet? What kind of things do you do?
The internet. My name is Carlos Luna. You can find me on social media under Carlos Crits. You can find me on Sundays at noon Central Standard Time on this channel, on the D&D Twitch channel for Rivals of Waterdeep. You can also find me every other Tuesday on the Dungeon Rats Twitch channel. It's a podcast, an actual play podcast that I stream. You could also find both those in podcast form. Also, haven't uploaded in a while, but you can check out my YouTube as well under Carlos Crits, where I talk about Game Master stuff.
Yeah, cool. Carlos, we should like co-do an episode of Office Hours or something together.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Thoughts about game mastering. Yeah, I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks. All right. Resident knife toddler, Tack. TK, tell us where we can find you when you're not here eating cake and stabbing stuff.
It's me. It's TK. I read those spooky stories on the internet, and if you like spooky stories, then you can read them at tkjreds.com. You can follow me on Twitter. TK joins the fray. My pinned post is now updated with like all the streams and stuff I do. Sometimes I stream at other times, and I will put that on Twitter, and we'll play Planescape Torment together, or the only Prince of Persia game that I own / play, and that'll be nice. We'll have a good time. If you like those spooky like streams and stuff, and you want to see me put mouths on inanimate objects and ruin my friends' lives, then you can watch that on Friday nights on this channel. It'll be great. This channel being Wizards D&D channel.
There you go.
Yeah. and it'll be great. We'll do some Tales from the Mists, and I'll make my friends cry, and you can watch, and you can cry too. I like it when people cry. Buy my book. That's it.
I like it when people cry. Buy my book. Sick. I love it. Well, you know, as much as Katie, as much as you tried to keep Road clean this session, you have
It just didn't happen.
try again next time.
Just
She's, you know, I believe in her elegance, but we have yet to.
She's having a very incredibly bad day, and that's
It's been
gonna
a rough
be.
day.
Gonna be all
Well,
right.
I hope that you, Katie, are having a good day. And tell
Yes,
us, where can we
absolutely.
find you on the internet?
Well, you can find me at Twitter at OKKatieMay. And then on Sundays, I DM and release a podcast called Dungeons, Dice, and Everything Nice. Our 2-year anniversary was this week. And you can head over there and at Twitter at Dungeons Dice or wherever podcasts are sold and find that as well.
Excellent. Thank you. And last but not least, big boy with the horns.
Yeah. I'm now on Twitter. I have created a Twitter. It is the same handle as my Instagram, so not difficult. Marood Boy. You can follow me there. I have not posted anything yet, but it might be things that'll be popping up, so keep an eye out.
You really got to think of that first post though. Like it's got to be really good.
I think it. I'm gonna
No
have to
pressure.
think about it a lot. Now that the pressure's on, I was just gonna take a selfie of myself shirtless in my bathroom.
Perfect.
That's good too.
Like a MySpace
That sounds like a good one.
version. Real hot. But you can also follow me on Instagram at Marood Boy. Definitely posting a lot more fun stuff there. Little bits of stories, including my cat Azula, which is adorable, and you'll see it. And hey, if you're in Chicago and you're looking for comedy stuff, reach out to me. I've always got shows happening, and love to see you out there.
Cool. I love the idea that you just started your Twitter and you haven't posted yet, so that people who are, you know, looking for that experience of getting in on a Twitter account on the ground floor day one. It's so hard, so rare these days. So thank you for that.
15 followers right
see.
now, so let's make that number
Yeah.
still single 2 digits.
my first post on Twitter, I tweeted, "The future is now," like very excited about Twitter, and then I didn't use it for 2 years. Yes! And the second post that I have just says boring.
Wow.
I like the long. I went for the long play on that one.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one. Nice. Good stuff. Cool. Well, you can find all of the content that we do for Roll20, both myself and some stuff that Carlos has done. All of that stuff lives on YouTube at MS Roll20, or you can check out our Twitch channel where we do live stuff over there sometimes. But for me, you can find me on twitch.tv/Adam Coble. Where for this show particularly, if you want to see some of the GM prep, some of the behind the scenes stuff, I put together a very complicated looking relationship map for all of the NPCs.
I actually will say, I popped in for like a few seconds before the spoilers started happening on the first episode, and I've been using that relationship map method in my DMing.
Oh yeah, draw.io is so fun, and I use it for everything. Yeah, it's great.
very good.
So if you want to see that in action, you want to see like the behind the scenes stuff for Jace, that's over on my Twitch channel. You can follow me on Twitter at Skinny Ghost. You can also tune in right here on Mondays at 1 p.m. for Roll20 Presents Waterdeep Dragon Heist, which I say this every week, we're just about to finish, but it's like, it's all over the place. So who knows? We'll finish it eventually, and we'll be starting Mad Mage with that same group, and we've been playing with those guys for a while. So I hope you'll come check it out. Otherwise,
we should say this podcast, it hasn't been approved by iTunes yet, but this will be a podcast. Sorry.
Yeah,
Jace Beleren,
that's right.
Yeah. So right now, I think you can only find it on Spotify. We're waiting for iTunes to approve it, but it should be on like all major podcast apps within the next week or two.
That's right. Yeah. So if you prefer, and you noticed this episode, Carlos and I both trying to be like, you rolled a 17, because we want to make it so you can listen and not be like, say the number, you jackasses. Yeah. Because I've had that experience. I've been like, everybody's really excited about whatever you just rolled right now, but I can't see it. Yeah. So yeah, check that out. It was very surreal going on Spotify and seeing the like Jace Beleren graphics and like our names and stuff. That was pretty neat.
That's cool.
Yeah. So definitely check that out. I'm going to actually go and edit this right now. So there's audio for next week's episode. We will see you next time, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
Bye, all.
Bye.
This stream is brought to you by Roll20, an easy-to-use virtual tabletop dedicated to making tabletop RPGs accessible to everyone. Join the adventuring party at roll20.net.